Welcome to History with Hersafat. I'm your host, Chris, aka Hersafat. Today on the podcast, we'll be concluding our discussion of the decade that was the 2010s with the year 2019. The views shared on this podcast come from your everyday, ordinary people. My hope is that it'll give a unique perspective on history. For future podcasts, we're doing another What's the Deal with Work Part 2 and a new decade. Ooh, we're not sure what it is. It's probably more like maybe the 70s. Let's just spoil that right there. And for those that listen to our podcast via Spotify, Apple, or Spreaker, we also have a YouTube channel showcasing a number of top-notch videos highlighting some borderline funny moments from our podcast for your viewing pleasure. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Back with us once again, we have Brad and Nick. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Good to see you. Or sorry, good to
Hey,
hear you.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, hello. Yes, I don't think we're going to waste any time today. As I say that, I'm wasting time. We're going to jump straight into the weird news of the week.
All right.
The article is from, can you guys guess?
Huffington
New York
Post.
New York Times.
New York Post.
New York Post.
New York Post.
The Combine our answers. That's the...
The title of the article is "I only ate sardines for 3 months. I was shocked by the results."
Shocked by the results.
That's right up my alley.
Like very high omega-3 levels and massive weight loss.
Mercury poisoning.
Right.
It's so funny you guys mentioned all that. The first line of the article: "It didn't take her long to get hooked." A 62-year-old retired military therapist struggling with extreme foot pain, inflammation, and food addiction claims she lost 35 pounds by eating only sardines for more than 3 months. "People think I'm absolutely nuts," Jane Crummett told Florida physician Annette Bosworth, known as Dr. Boz, last month. Crummett weighed 240 pounds at her peak and suffered from plantar fasciitis, which made it difficult to walk. She adopted a carnivore diet in 2020 and dropped 65 pounds, but she hit a plateau and her weight crept back on. In May, she had had enough. She tipped the scales at 196 and decided to follow Bosworth's 72-hour sardine fast, which is supposed to jumpstart metabolism and plunge your body into advanced ketosis so it can quickly burn fat for energy. Crummett continued to make the oily fish her only meal. She eats 4 cans of sardines every day and supplements with MCT oil, a fat derived from coconut or palm kernel oil, consuming around 1,500 daily calories. "I'm not starving myself," Crummett said. At the 98-day mark earlier this month, Crummett praised the diet for restoring her energy, reducing her blood sugar, and relieving her pain. She said she lost 12 pounds of fluid in just the first 2 weeks. The dietary guidelines for Americans recommend adults consume at least 8 ounces of seafood a week. Sardines are packed with protein, brain-beneficial omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and calcium while being relatively low in calories. But UK doctor Dr. Masserat Jelani pointed out that mercury can accumulate in the body, and there are other potential downsides to the spiral eating plan as well. Firstly, sardines contain 0 fiber. Fiber is crucial for gut health and digestion. A diet based solely on sardines could lead to constipation, Jelani, who works for the healthcare company Jude, told Surrey Live last week. The way sardines are canned means they are usually preserved in either salt or oil. If they are salted sardines, you will be consuming an excessive amount of sodium, which can raise your blood pressure and put strain on your kidneys. Emily Favor, a registered dietitian at Northwell Long Island Jewish Forest Hills Hospital, said sardines can be part of a well-balanced diet, but shouldn't be the only food source. Each food item and group presents itself with its own unique nutrition profile that is important for our health, Favor told the Post. Maintaining a restrictive sardine-only diet can be really tough. Luke Winky reported breaking down and buying a bag of 99-cent corn chips from his neighborhood bodega towards the end of his 24-hour sardine fast as he grew lightheaded, groggy, and unable to focus. The rules are that you can only consume sardines, water, black tea, or coffee. You are allowed hot sauce, mustard, lemon, and pepper, but no carbs. All things considered, there are certainly worse fad diets to test drive. A YouTuber who assesses health and fitness fads had better success. Writing for Newsweek last year, Peter Whiting said he shed 4 pounds during a 3-day sardine fast that ended consuming 16 tin cans for a total of 3,700 calories. I found this fast
Oh,
easy compared to some of the others I had done. Whiting wrote, the only main drawback for me was that I did not like sardines whatsoever. All right.
why would
Aw.
you even be like, let's do it?
Yeah, just
Let's do
power
the
through.
fast, man. I hate
Yeah,
him, but let's do
yeah,
it.
that's journalism. Oh boy. So would you guys do that? Would you guys do the sardine fast?
Not only sardines. I do like
Right.
sardines. In
I do
fact,
too.
I'm kind of hungry for some.
Right
I think
after
said-
that whole thing,
I
yeah.
have
I
like
was thinking mustard.
6 or 8 packages of sardines in my cupboard right now.
There you go.
It's
You
a
get
good
started
start.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
don't think
like
I'd
to
ever.
do- Oh,
Well, I'm
what
just thinking I don't ever do it.
Right. Yeah, me either. But give me like a piece of sourdough bread. You toast it. You mash some avocado on there. And
Yeah.
you soak the sardines in some balsamic vinegar and mash those on
Oh.
top of the avocado. A little parsley. Oh man,
Oh man,
delicious
Oh,
snack.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, everything except for the avocado
And the
well,
sardines.
and the sardines.
Yeah,
Pretty much everything you just
You
mentioned.
just mentioned.
just some toasted sourdough bread.
Yeah,
That would
that's
be good.
good.
Soaked in balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, there you go.
Butter,
Oh, there you go.
cake,
Well,
and
actually,
butter.
it's an Alton Brown recipe, and what he does, he pours the oil out and brushes the bread with the oil and uses that to toast. So you have like sardine
Oh,
oil.
that's awesome. That's a great idea.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
All
I only get the ones packed in olive oil, like
Right.
just straight olive oil. Oh man, so good.
It's
All right.
delicious.
King Oscar brand, by the way, has to be.
Oh, gotta
King
be.
Oscar. Maybe
They're
we can,
expensive, but they are excellent.
they'll sponsor the podcast. We can do something
Right.
with that. Get free sardines for life. All right.
Right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. That will do it for our weird news of the week. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you. All right. We will now move into our next section of the podcast with the timeline of 2019.
This is going to be a tough point. The Cubs win the World Series.
The Occupy Wall Street movement is reaching a flashpoint.
Carl! Carl!
There have been 2 explosions today at the Boston Marathon. 2 explosions near the finish line just a short while ago.
The Lannisters send their regards.
Court making same-sex legal.
Steve Jobs, the visionary founder and leader of Apple Computer, has died at the age of 56.
So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here.
Thousands of women around the world spoke out against sexual harassment using just 2 words, Me Too.
Eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
President Trump has just been impeached on both Article 1, abuse of power, and on Article 2, obstruction of Congress.
And on January 2nd, American actor, comedy writer, and producer Bob Einstein dies at the age of 76. Einstein was famous for his daredevil, Evel Knievel type character, Super Dave, in the 1970s. He was also well known for playing characters Marty Funkhauser on Curb Your Enthusiasm and Larry Middleman on Arrested Development. Take a second to talk about
Oh, that guy. Okay, yeah.
Mr. Bob Einstein. Yeah, favorite moment. If Nick and I probably have a lot more to choose from. Brad,
Yeah, I mean, on Arrested Development, he was the surrogate.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
What does he say to He's like, because this is his dad talking, and
yes,
Was it,
yeah, it's George
Jason,
Senior talking.
It's George Senior.
yeah.
It's
like,
oh,
what
he
does he
totally
say?
say,
If
what is he
I-
doing?
if-
Is he leaving?
Yeah.
He's going. Are you talking? Are you saying that, or am I saying that?
no, but the first time he
leave.
meets him, he just says directly to him something like, I should bend you over and spank you," or something
that's
like
right.
that, and he's just
Yeah.
like, "Who is this?"
How dare you talk like that? I should bend you over and spank you right now.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's Michael saying, "Who do I know you?"
Yeah, excuse me,
Yeah.
who are you? Yep.
And then he smiles like he's a completely different person for a second because it's actually him. He's like, "Introduce, I'm Larry Middleman."
Right. Yeah.
That goes back to Nick, you got something for
Yeah.
yeah.
I do. My absolute favorite moment with him was on the Norm Show.
Oh yeah.
When he was on the Norm Show, because the whole time he was just like, "What the hell is this? Like, what are you guys doing? This is the worst show. Nobody's watching this show." It was great. Every joke that came out, he just like, "You said that? I can't believe this." And it was great, man. It was so great.
Oh God. Marty Funkhauser, he's such a phenomenal character on Curb. He's so funny. I mean, everything he's in is just amazing. I'm just trying to think of. There's so many. I just can't. Oh, when he's his mom dies, and he's jogging, and Larry's walking down eating an ice cream cone, and Marty was jogging by, and he's like, "Hey, Funkhauser, Larry, how you doing?" And he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I thought I'd go out for a jog, try and clear my mind." He's like, "Oh, do mourners jog?" "I don't know if mourners jog, but I jog. I find it helps me." And Larry's like, "Oh, I'll try and remember that if a close personal member of my family dies suddenly." Okay. And he's like, "Let me ask you something. Are you coming to the funeral?" "Of course I'm coming." "Okay, great. I want to give you back your 50. Hey, Funkhauser. Because Larry was complaining earlier that he's never going to get his 50 back from Funkhauser. And he takes off his shoe, and Larry's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Giving you back the 50. I keep money in my shoe."
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
He's like, "Give me that. I don't want that disgusting 50. This is the 50. Take the 50. You know, he's like, "I'm not taking that. No, and I'm not paying you. What? And I'm not paying you." Yeah, all that stuff. When he wears that, he becomes Jewish again. He becomes a devout Jewish man. And when the Palestinian chicken episode, and he's wearing his like, "Take off the yarmulke. It's too much. It's too bold move. Don't you touch my yarmulke. Don't you touch it." You know, he's so fucking funny.
Oh yeah.
Super Dave. Nobody talks about that. So, and Super Dave was,
True.
you know, he's an evil Knievel character, and it always goes south. And it's always like, you know, at the end, you know, it's like a dummy. He's getting crushed by like 4 cars or something like that. But it's always really funny. The one that
watch this
stuck out to me was he's on top of a semi playing a piano with like dinner tables and like everything. It's just weird as hell. And he's like singing. I think he's playing. I can't remember what song he's playing. But just as it's about to like go to like a certain like big part in the song, the camera kind of pans away and you kind of see it that he's heading right into a tunnel, and immediately the piano and everything gets crushed because the stem. Because he was like, yeah, it's really funny stuff. Super Dave is really good. Yeah, really good stuff. Anyway,
yeah, he was great, man. It's real shame to lose him.
Oh yeah, I mean, when he passed away, I was like, damn, that sucks. He was so funny, and we didn't get to see him in the last season of Curb because he was, you know, passed away unfortunately. So I could only imagine what they would have had. And that joke he tells Seinfeld, that was just him telling jokes because he's got a million jokes. He's just it's a nonstop. It's so oh god, he's just hilarious. Yeah, anyway.
Oh yeah.
On February 28th, 2019, the Hanoi summit is held in Vietnam. It is the second summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, but the first to feature Naked Twister. March 6th, in a fiery interview with Gayle King on CBS This Morning, singer R. Kelly vehemently denies that he sexually abused women, allegations for which he faces criminal charges. R. Kelly would admit, however, to making horrible music and assaulting our ears. He would later apologize to the world for I Believe I Can Fly, Reignition, and Bump and Grind, but not Trapped in the Closet. He maintains to this day that it's his magnum opus.
Oh.
April
well, it's
10th?
interesting that information about R. Kelly was like so like old.
Yeah.
You know, like that happened so long ago, and like everyone just kind of forgot, I guess. And then it just
yeah,
you know, I mean, they kind of forgot. It was kind of in the back of their minds, but they just kind of let him do what he wanted or something, I guess. Or I don't know. I always thought like R. Kelly's still walking around. Like I always thought that. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, just
up.
yeah. Probably the Me Too movement maybe had a little hand in something like that.
No, yeah, for
maybe.
sure.
I don't know.
All
right. On April 10th, 2019, scientists from the Event Horizon Telescope project announced the first ever image of a black hole located in the center of the M87 galaxy. President Trump would immediately demand the U.S. send the Space Force to guard the black hole from the crooked lying communist Marxist left-wingers who famously travel via wormhole. When informed that no such branch of the military exists, Trump vows to rectify that fact. On May 8th, 2019, at 35 years, 198 days, Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak breaks former Price is Right host Bob Barker's record for hosting a single game show. 2 days later, on the 10th, the series celebrates the airing of its 7,000th primetime episode in syndication. Pat Sajak would host this episode in the nude, much to the horror of the entire audience.
Oh yeah, June 14th.
Just the
What a
makeup.
risk.
Woo!
What a risk
So brave,
after all
so brave.
that time.
What a celebration. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
On June 14th, 2019, the Cherry Poppin' Daddies released Bigger Life, their first album of original material in 6 years, and their first ska album in 11 years. The original title for the album, Paying Back Taxes, was changed at the last minute. July 29th, Lil Nas X reaches his 17th week atop the Billboard Hot 100 with Old Town Road, obtaining the all-time record for longest sonic torture session in American history.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And what date was that?
July 29th.
Oh, boy.
August 2nd, Japan announces the removal of South Korea from its list of most trusted trading partners, effective on August 28th. August 12th, South Korea announces the removal of Japan from its list of most trusted trading partners, effective on September 18th.
Yeah,
Two can
take
play at that
that.
game, asshole.
Yeah. That's sad, though, because they're right next to each other. It's so convenient.
It just seemed like such a well, you okay? Yeah, well, how about this? Yeah,
Yeah, right.
It's so funny.
Right? Like they're like, wait, come on now, you can't do that.
On September 30th, 2019, the Republic of Ireland promises to plant 440 million trees in 20 years to combat climate change. Ireland also vows to water the trees with a mixture of water and copious amounts of Jameson. October 11th, Fox News anchor Shepard Smith leaves the network after 23 years. One of the last original members of the network since its 1996 launch, Smith was known for his neutral reporting on the conservative-leaning channel, often causing rifts among management, fellow anchors, and viewers. And for that, he was left tarred, feathered, jobless, homeless, hairless, and forced to live in Alaska.
Yes.
On November 18th, 2019, Motley Crue utilizes a loophole in their cessation of touring agreement to reform for a stadium tour with Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts in summer 2020. Tommy Lee would tell the press that nothing short of a worldwide pandemic could stop the crew from touring, and even then, they'll probably still tour. By the way, that one is funny because I know it's been like a year, but like I made a joke in like about the 2011, maybe 2010, I don't know, maybe 2012, where Motley Crue gave their cessation of touring. I remember I made a joke about that, like the world agreed, oh thank God, they, and wouldn't you figure? I think my joke was that they like had a loophole or something, or maybe not, I don't remember. But it was just funny that it came up again. I was like, I knew it. They would fucking bullshit. Anyway, on December 20th, the last one. On December 20th, 2019, the United States founds the United States Space Force, a branch of the United States Armed Forces dedicated to space warfare. Sorry. The United States founds the United States Space Force, a branch of the United States Armed Forces dedicated to space warfare. Upon its creation, members of the Air Force cheered in jubilation as they no longer were the laughingstock of the United States military. And that will do it for the timeline of 2019.
Yeah. The Air Force, the Space Force people, apparently they're called Guardians.
Really?
So all those Destiny players out there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that sounds about right. Thank you, fellas. All right, we will now move into next section of our podcast with the movies of 2019.
Now is not the time for fear. That comes later.
Sell me this fucking pen right here.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? You?
$1 billion.
It was perfect.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Take your hands off my lobby boy!
Chewie. We're home.
Look at me, sure.
I'm the captain.
Why do you like him?
Because he gets on base.
Not quite my tempo.
Avengers!
Assemble.
All right, the top 10 movies in terms of gross for 2019. Get ready for this shitfest. All right.
Yes.
Number 10, we have Jumanji: The Next Level.
Oh fuck me! Is that a sequel?
Is this the second one?
Yeah, I believe it's the
Jesus.
second or maybe even third one. You got, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and
Yep.
Jack Black and Kevin Hart.
Right.
Yep.
I never saw it. Did you guys ever see it?
Never.
No.
I mean, why would I?
I avoided that.
I only stuck with the very original one with Robin Williams.
Right. Absolutely.
So
That's
as
a
far as I'm
classic.
concerned, this is remakes that don't need to exist, which
Yep.
is going to be a theme of this list.
Yep.
As we go into number 9, Aladdin. The live action
fucking Will
remake
Smith
with
one?
Will
Oh
Smith.
my God.
Jesus Christ!
It was number 9.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
what a shit fucking
Um,
year. God damn.
As far as I'm concerned, it was probably shot for shot remake.
I believe so, yeah.
With maybe like 1 or 2 new songs added, which is what they did for Beauty and the
Lion King?
Beast and
What was it, Lion
let's
King
not get
over?
let's not get ahead of ourselves with the
Oh
Lion
shit!
King.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, did not see the remake of Aladdin. I know you guys didn't,
No.
No.
but apparently enough people did to make it number 9.
Yeah.
And now moving to number 8, Toy Story 4, which I enjoyed. Even though I found it completely unnecessary, it was a nice extra
Right.
story.
Yep. Yeah.
Is it like a prequel or something?
No, it takes place after the events of the third one.
Yeah, we saw the
Or,
third one at the drive-in.
Right. Oh yeah. All the toys get given away.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth one, they're just like on another adventure, basically.
Is it still with
So-
Andy or is it with that girl now?
I don't remember. I think it was with that girl. Something happens, and I know Keanu Reeves plays the little stuntman action figure guy, which was kind of cool. I don't really remember much.
Nice. All right. Yeah,
But I
never
remember
saw it.
being like, "Oh, okay, that's fine."
Yeah. It's weird because it's like the first 3 weren't bad, and then it's like if you just leave it there, it's fine. But
Yeah,
for
it's-
some reason, they're just so greedy, and they don't see all of the times in the past where being greedy and making more movies works out. It doesn't. It just never has.
Every once in a while, it sticks. I think that's their strategy.
Oh, I see.
Just keep throwing remakes and reboots at the wall. It's like
Look at Fast Five.
something will. Yeah.
Right.
There's like 300 Fast Five movies or Friday the 13th or
Sure. No, I that's fine. I just think that, I mean, the Fast and the Furious wasn't really that good to begin with.
No, it was
So
never
they
good.
were very safe in making as many as they want because it was never going to get any better.
Right, and people watched them,
Right.
so.
Yeah, no, that's true. I wish I could be that guy, That's like, oh, they got a 10th one coming out. Oh, I
Hell
can't
yeah, brother.
wait.
Hell yeah.
Well, you can be that guy if you want.
You can be that guy. Yeah. Well,
Anything is possible.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
All right. Moving on to number 7. Here we go. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Holy shit.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that
Holy
movie.
shit. This is a terrible year.
Oh, it's not gonna get any better.
That's
But yeah,
horrible.
Rise of Skywalker, man, saw that in theaters. It just, I don't know, it was like an incoherent mess and just nonsense mostly.
Yeah.
Did you know that Kylo Ren and Rey kiss? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and I was confused as to why that would.
I had like a memory of it. I'm like, no, that didn't happen. Like, and then I looked it up. I'm like, oh my god, they did. It's like I blocked it from my memory. It was so fucking stupid. And then she had like the amulet that was in the shape of the Death Star remains, and she was in the right spot to like line it up. Like, oh, that's right. I need to go into there to get the whatever the fuck. The whole movie was just like, go there, get that. Okay, now we need to go here and get that. Which, I mean, that's a lot of movies, but still, it just felt so contrived.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Lando Calrissian shows up with like his fleet of like everyone. And the theme song plays, and people in the audience clapped. I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't fucking believe this.
People clapped at that?
Yeah. When he showed up. And then at the end, it's like, my name's Ray. And the old lady's like, Ray what? And she goes, Skywalker. And then people fucking clapped. I'm like, what? What?
Yikes.
Yeah, I was not.
I honestly, the prequels were okay, but the original 3, that's all you need.
Absolutely.
No more Star Wars should have ever been.
I mean,
made.
I hate Star Wars now, basically.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, it's just not
just
that
like-
good. Yeah.
And the more I look at it, it's like, oh, these are just children's movies made to sell merchandise.
Right.
Like that's
Huge
all it
ripoff
ever was.
of Dune and
Yep.
Star Trek.
Flash Gordon,
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
Yep.
It was all just a money-making machine.
Right.
We've all been bamboozled.
Yeah.
And now I'm sad.
And
Empire
it's,
Strikes Back still holds up, though. That's still a good movie.
Yeah, definitely. Probably the best Star Wars movie.
Oh, for sure.
And then that's pretty much it.
All right, shall we move on?
Well, I just the somehow Emperor Palpatine has returned. All right, now we're moving on.
Yeah. No, man, that
So
you opened up a whole other
stupid.
can of worms with that remark. Because it turns out Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was supposed to be nobody. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Ryan Johnson made her nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, I mean, it's well known. It's just like make the first one and then, you know what, do whatever you want for the second one. Do whatever you want for the third one. Like, don't
Yeah.
connect them at all. Like, who gives a shit?
Yep.
Fucking simps will go and pay money to see it and buy all the shit. And
Oh, yeah.
okay,
All right,
I'm
let's move
tired
on
now.
before we have
I'm
an end.
tired.
Was that
I'm
7?
just tired. Yeah, that was 7. All right, number 6, Joker.
Oh, I didn't mind this
Joaquin
one.
Phoenix. That movie was okay. Not as
Yeah.
good as people made it out to be.
Right.
I
I
agree.
thought it was like kind of a ripoff of I guess like Taxi Driver,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, for
funny
sure.
because what's his name is in the movie.
Robert De Niro's in it. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, kind
By
of
the
a
way,
good,
accepted the role.
yeah,
Taxi
Kind of
Driver
a
2
good,
is sweet.
kind of a good I guess mental illness kind of movie, basically.
You remember
So-
the sequel came out just
Yeah.
recently. It's gotten panned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a
Never
weird
made.
musical, like
Yeah.
courtroom
Right.
musical or something.
Right.
So
I mean, what do you
Who knows?
expect? You get Lady Gaga. I mean, it's
yeah,
not
she's
the
gotta
best.
Sing.
She's not an actor.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have anything else more to say about Joker. It was
I
fine.
didn't mind it. I've
Yeah.
only watched it once though. I never went back
Same.
to it. You know.
Yeah,
right.
same here.
Same, yeah.
All right then. Number 5, Captain Marvel.
What's
Never
number
saw
4?
it. Never wanted to see it.
Yep.
Don't care.
Don't care. Yep, don't care. Okay. Moving on. Number 4, Spider-Man: Far From Home.
God.
Okay, I watched
Yeah,
that one. I like that one.
these are all pretty much Disney movies.
Far From Home is the one with
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, he plays Mysterio. Or something
Mysterio.
like that. Yeah.
Mysterion or something like that. Yeah. I didn't think it was bad. It was you know, I didn't think it was bad at all. I thought it was one of the better Marvel movies I'd seen in a while. It actually gave me, I was like, okay, because I like Tom Holland. I think he plays a good Peter Parker, and
Yeah,
Robert
I
De
agree.
Niro. Not Robert. Is it Robert De Niro? No, Robert Downey Jr. is in that movie. Iron Man. He's basically the best Tony Stark. I mean, he's basically that guy anyway, in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Jake Gyllenhaal was fine. The plot was fine. To see a new Marvel. When I'd seen Mysterio, I haven't seen Mysterion in a live action ever. I watched it a lot when growing up. Well, I used to watch the Spider-Man show on cartoon, like the Fox cartoons.
Yeah, from the
I used
90s.
to watch
Oh,
that
yeah, for sure.
all the time. So it was neat seeing him in live action. I thought it was a good story, and it made me excited for the next one. And the next Spider-Man, obviously, won't get to it now because it came out next decade. But I thought that was really good. They brought all the Spider-Mans together and all that. But yeah, the second one I thought was pretty good. It was interesting. The title was Far From Home, even though that's exactly actually where Tom Holland lives. And the first movie was called Homecoming, and that isn't where he lives at all. Yeah, there you go.
Interesting. All right. Number 3, Frozen 2. The sequel to Frozen.
I saw the first one once, and I've heard that song about 1 billion times.
Oh, Let It
Right.
Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I wonder if that song makes a reprise in Frozen 2. It would have to, right? Because that song was so popular.
It's such a
I would
hit.
think so. I would think so. I don't know. Yeah, probably
Uh-huh.
does.
We'll just assume It does, and leave it at that.
Let it go even further, or like
Yeah.
haul it back in. Who knows? Not sure how they will.
Right.
Let it go-er. Let it goest.
Let it go with.
Even more.
Right.
Thouest goeth. But
Let it.
Ooh, yeah.
yes.
Old-timey English version. All right. Number 2. Here we go. The
Second.
Lion King.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's fine, man. The fucking live-action, photorealistic, shot-for-shot remake of The Lion King that did not need to exist. And I watched half of it a while ago. No. Terrible.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it looks fantastic. It looks like real animals, and that's the problem, because all these animals don't have any facial expressions like the cartoon did, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's cats talking, their mouths are moving, but they're just blank, expressionless. Even when Mufasa dies, Simba goes no, and it's just a cat with its mouth open. Like there's no emotion.
Right.
Oh god, and they brought back James Earl Jones to reprise his role as Mufasa, and he's noticeably, I mean, he's an old man at that point, so his voice is not powerful, like it was in the first. Just, I think there was like a new song that they added, and oh god.
Was JTT the Simba?
No, it was Childish Gambino. I forget the guy's name.
Oh my god. What's number 1?
Danny Glover, Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover. And
Good God.
I don't think anyone reprised their role. It was just Mufasa who reprised the role.
I know that Zazu was played by
Oliver.
John Oliver, yeah.
Yeah, and not Roman Atkinson.
Yes,
He was the first one, yeah. And I don't even know who played wait, never mind. I was thinking of Aladdin. Like, who played the parrot?
Who played
I'm sure whoever they had. Yeah,
Gilbert.
I'm
man.
sure they did not bring him back for that Aladdin remake.
They should have.
Oh god. No, I'm very tired. All right. Number one movie in terms of gross 2019, Avengers Endgame.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, you guys.
That's the second part, right?
That's the second part.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this was it. This was where Marvel should have ended. Like, this is it. This is it. Yeah. I thought it was a good ending to a 10-year plot that I think is incredibly hard and difficult to pull off to keep people interested for as long as they have. But just it's like impossible. It's one of the great things to do in show business, at least typically the top ones, is to leave on a high note. You don't stick around. Once you leave them wanting more, you don't keep coming back, because you'll get to a point where you've crossed that line where there's nothing you can really do about it. People are just going to lose interest, and that's going to be your legacy. And it'll be, instead of it being a phenomenal thing that's great and on all time, it's going to be diminished with each passing movie, each box office flop. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Honestly, the last one that got anything good was the third Spider-Man movie. That was it. I don't recall a single one that I can't think of anything that was maybe the Disney Plus shows, maybe like Loki or something, but that's small screen, that's not a movie. So I can't. Deadpool Wolverine maybe, but probably not even. It still doesn't compare on the scale to how much hype and how big Endgame was, and
right.
It should have just ended.
Right.
Sucked.
It has,
for sure.
It has the name.
Right.
Endgame.
Liars.
Yeah, I mean, as I recall, I play a lot of MMOs, and the Endgame, that's it. It doesn't go any further than that.
Right. That is Endgame.
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
That's all I got to say on that.
Cool, because I never saw it and I don't really give a shit. So let's move on to personal picks of 2019.
All right.
We'll start with a big one. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, hell yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. Kind of like a retelling. Well, there's a lot of aspects to it. It's like Inglourious Bastards, where it's like kind of like a redoing of history.
Right.
And then it's about Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth that they're like, you know, aging, and that they're like starting to be no longer relevant in Hollywood. So there's that aspect, and then you involve the Manson family cult in there, and throw in a flamethrower, and
they had a Bruce Lee.
Yep.
And the guy playing Bruce Lee, and
that started some controversy.
Yeah, and that whole scene where he's like, I can't fight you because my hands are weapons.
Yeah, they made Bruce Lee to be like kind of this, like this arrogant prick, which he may very well have been.
He's like, anybody that punches anybody hard enough is going to kill them and go to prison. So.
Yeah, great movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the people, I mean, every actor, actress is phenomenal in that movie. I really like that movie. I love the soundtrack to it. I thought that was great. That cover of California Dreamin' by Jose Fla, I can't remember his name, but it's really good. I really enjoyed it. The scene where the guy slashes Brad Pitt's tire as he's out at the Manson Ranch, and he comes back and he's like, "Did you do that?" And I can't remember what the guy says, but he's like, "What do you do about it?" And he comes back, just punches the guy in the face, drags him over to the tire, and he's like, "Fix it." And he just pulls out a smoke, and he's like, "I'm gonna fix it now." You know, he gets the guy to fix his tire, and they go get what's his name, Charles Manson, basically. I think my favorite scene of the whole movie is at the very end. Brad Pitt's guy's tripping on acid, and the guy comes to the door, and he's seen him before because he saw him at the ranch. He's like, "Wait, I know you," and he's like, "I'm the devil," or something. He's like, "No, that ain't it." He's like, "You're Brad," or something like that. He's just like, "Oh,
Rex, I think was
you're
his
Rex,
name.
yeah."
And he says, "I saw you riding a horsey."
And the whole time I'm like on the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh shit, because everyone that watches that movie knows the story. Typically, probably does the story of Sharon Tate, how that all went down. So you know something bad's gonna happen, and you're just kind of like, oh man, I wonder how this is gonna go down. I mean, you assume what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and then on a dime, Tarantino just turns it on its head, and the next thing you hear Brad Pitt go, and his dog just goes at it, grabs the guy's, bites his wrist, he starts screaming, and he takes that girl's head and he like smashes it against,
smashes it on the mantle.
Oh god. And it is so violent, and you've been waiting for this sort of thing because that's Tarantino, like this outrageous violence, this crazy ass scene. But my favorite is DiCaprio like in the pool. All of a sudden there's people freaking out, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he goes and he grabs a flamethrower.
Grabs his flamethrower. He had it in his tool shed. It was the flamethrower from the movie he did, that Nazi movie he did at the beginning of the movie. He just has it.
He's like, "Can you do something about that heat?"
No, it's a flamethrower.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. All right, you go ahead, Nick. You got anything to add, or Brad?
Well, I'd have to say that because there's a lot of outrageous stuff in Tarantino films that like take me out of the film. This film didn't really have that for me. It didn't really reach that length. Like a great example would be at the end of Django, when he shot and he flies through the room. I think that was really stupid. He should not have put that in the movie. Who am I? I'm not Quentin Tarantino. I'm just saying it was really stupid. He should not have put that in the movie. Or another example would be like, the Kill Bill, when they're flying through the air and they're hitting each other with katanas. It's stupid. It takes you out of the movie. It's nonsense. But, this movie didn't really have that.
It was more grounded.
It was more grounded. And I did really like the whole alternate history thing. And the fact that, Hersafat was saying how like there's this expectation from the audience, and then he just subverts that, and it's brilliant.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And just one more thing. I remember watching it like the whole time. I was like, man, this is really like a mature Tarantino. He's toned it down, but it's still an excellent movie. And then at the end, when it gets super violent, I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yep.
He's been waiting for this the whole movie. So great movie. And we will move on.
Easily the best movie right now I've heard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have a few more. All right. So next one, Knives Out.
Oh, this movie's great.
I never saw it, but
it.
okay, cool. Because I never watched it, but I heard really good things. It's like a murder mystery. Movie by Ryan Johnson.
Totally worth watching. I'm wanting to watch it again now that I know what happens. And it has multiple views. Like, you know,
it's definitely a rewatcher.
Oh, big time. And when you find out at the end how it happens and what happens, it's actually a really good story. It was written really well, and it's like a subverting your expectations sort of thing.
Okay.
Michael Shannon's in this movie.
Cool.
He's fantastic. There's plenty of other actors. Jamie Lee Curtis is in this movie. Just plenty of other people that really, really great acting. Story's good. Yeah, definitely worth a watch.
I watched bits of. I think I started to watch it and I got distracted, so I basically missed the whole movie. Like I saw the beginning,
right,
and then I saw the end, and
oh god,
I was like, man, I need to watch this over again.
Yeah,
because I saw the twists and all that. Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, oh that's interesting. Yeah, and so yeah, I thought it was really neat from what I had seen. I actually wanted to watch it again, but actually really watch it for the first time. But
for sure,
definitely should do that. All right,
moving on. A movie that I watched recently with my mom randomly when I was visiting. It's called Crawl, which I doubt you guys have seen.
No, never seen it. Never even heard of it, I don't think.
No, it's about this lady who she's estranged from her father, and she hears that like there's a Category 5 hurricane coming to where her father lives, so she's like trying to get a hold of him, and she ends up going over to his house, and she gets in like the crawl space because he's down there and he's injured for some reason, and then a bunch of giant alligators come, and she has to like fend them off while trying to protect her dad. And
what the hell?
I mean, that's the gist of it. It's pretty stupid, but it's kind of fun to watch.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's like a fun blockbuster.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my mom and I were having a good time watching it.
Right.
Nice.
Just
like
making
Jaws.
fun of it.
Oh, for sure.
So
Gotcha. Okay.
That's all I have to say about that. Next movie,
like
Midsommar.
Sorry.
Midsommar. Yeah. Yeah,
Is that
really, really good.
A24? Is that the one where that's like I think I've seen this.
Same person who did Hereditary, I believe.
Yes, that is right.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, very interesting in that it's like a horror movie that takes place like during the day, basically the whole time.
Yep, I have seen this.
I'd have to say that because I think we've all, I'm not sure about you, Brad, but have done psychedelics at some point.
Yes, and this movie portrays them very accurately.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes,
exactly.
Like that one guy took the mushrooms and he's like, I gotta sit down. He's like, are those new people? Are those new people coming? Like,
right.
Yep. Just like a little thing like that, like throws your whole world off when you're tripping on mushrooms. And then she's tripping in she like looked at the forest and it's kind of like, waving,
right?
Like convulsing like gently. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
And I think the grass was like moving oddly.
Yeah, and it's great because like if you have the experience with the psychedelics and you can relate to it, you notice that your temperature drops and your palms get sweaty, and you can almost kind of feel, in a way, like under, you know what I mean, like really understand. It's great. I love it.
And a bunch of like that sex scene.
Oh my god!
With all the
so disturbing.
all the old ladies like helping him and. And he's like tripping on something at the time. He has no idea what's going on.
Right.
And then at the end, he gets burned as a sacrifice with those other guys. And
yeah.
And
then she gets crowned the May Queen, and she's tripping on some shit. So she's all out of it too. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Very unsettling movie.
Very, very unsettling.
Yeah, highly recommend.
It's so good though. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say something, but I kind of spaced out there, and I don't know if it was said.
Say it.
When the guy jumps to his death.
Did
you guys mention that?
No, I never mentioned that.
Yeah, and he's still alive, and they smash his head with a hammer.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
and the guy's like, the Americans and whoever are freaking out, and the guy who's part of the cult's like, oh no, this is just tradition. It's just tradition.
Yep.
Like this is crazy to you, but this is normal for us.
Right.
I'm like, man, I am staying out of Sweden. Like, fuck that place.
Tourists for Sweden went down 70%, I think, at this movie.
Just don't go out of town. Like it's just full of death cults out there.
Right.
All right.
We apologize to our Swedish listeners.
Yeah.
Hopefully you watched the newest video that we released, The Thing. It's got some Swedish stuff in there.
Yeah. And it's definitely not offensive. All right. Next up. Okay, this movie won Best Picture for 2019, and that movie is Parasite.
Oh, this movie's so good.
Good. I'm glad you saw it.
Oh man,
Chris, you see it?
Good.
No, I've never seen it. Go ahead.
Oh man, yeah, it's a Korean film.
Yeah,
it's like this poor family that like the one guy in the poor family pretends to be like a tutor, and then he gets his sister to pretend that she's an art teacher for the rich family's little boy, and then the wife becomes the housekeeper for the rich family. It's like they all pretend to be something they're not to get in with this rich family, and then I guess in true Korean fashion, shit gets fucking crazy. I don't want to spoil anything.
Right? Yeah, I've seen this movie twice actually. And so it's like what Brad was saying, they kind of ease their way into like, because like they're from like the slums, right?
Yes.
And they're struggling to get by, and one person gets a job at this family's house that's very wealthy, very well off, and then they get to experience the luxury. They go back home and tell everyone about it, right? And they come up with this plan. Well, I'm going to work for them and do this. And so then the whole family ends up doing that. And then they are like living there and just eating their food and living the life that they want to live, that they're not living. And then, like Brad said, the ending. Yeah. And then Brad said, like, the ending flips it on its head, and you learn about extra things that you're like, holy shit, okay.
All right, I'm absolutely gonna watch it. What's it on?
All right, I want to
Parasite.
I want to say one scene that fucking scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
was when it showed like the little boy looking towards the staircase, and you just see this guy like emerge up, and you just see the whites of his eyes, and his eyes are wide. I'm just like, oh fuck,
yeah,
like.
Yeah,
that doesn't spoil anything, but holy shit.
Yep.
And then it's partly a comedy too. I remember laughing quite a bit.
Yeah, there's some it's like a not entirely a dark comedy, but it definitely has funny moments.
Yeah. All right, yeah, so Parasite, watch it.
It makes sense why it won. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
It's so good. It's got everything.
I'm just gonna look for it on whatever stream service.
The fucking Lion King wasn't gonna win it, or Star Wars, like an actual film won, and I was very surprised. I'm like, all right, okay. So moving on here, The Platform. You guys ever watched The Platform?
I've ever seen that. Nope.
It's on Netflix, Spanish movie. Okay, it's a fucking weird ass movie. So. Basically, all these people are like in like jail cells, and there's like levels. Okay, and then like this giant slab comes out with a bunch of food on it.
Yep.
And it goes from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
And people eat the food, and then there's less and less food as it goes down, and the people at the bottom are basically cannibals.
Eating scraps. Yeah.
Eating scraps, and some people like piss and shit on the food for some reason, and then. After so long, it gets randomized, so you get gassed and you wake up on a different level. It could be higher or lower, and it's just
and
really
people, a lot of people, it's like either volunteer or get put there by like the government or the county.
Right? Yeah.
And some people volunteer because they offer like paid for all of their education and a bunch of money or something like that.
Yeah, but you just. Don't know where you're gonna be or how it's gonna go down, and
exactly, you really don't know what you're getting yourself into, man. That movie's awesome, really good. The ending could have been better, but
the ending was weird. I kind of don't remember it. got all the way down to the very, 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 very bottom.
Right. And that was
Like,
it.
Yeah, basically then his daughter was there, quote unquote, and they walked into the light or whatever at the end, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah, it just kind
That
of
was
ended.
it. Yep. I feel like they just didn't know where to go with it.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies where just
They should have just had the guy who was like the quote unquote main character, right? They should have just had him, like, I don't know, eventually leave and then just, I don't know, see what his life is like a year later from there or something. That would have been an interesting way.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a sequel that does that.
Well,
all right, well, moving on. Another great movie, The Lighthouse. The
Oh,
Robert
yeah.
Eggers, Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe movie.
Yes.
Fucking awesome, black
way-
and white.
Yeah, the way the lines are said in the movie, it's amazing, man. It's in literally a piece of art.
Yo, yeah, it
front of your
certainly
face.
is. The old timey,
Yep.
like New England accent, and
Mm-hmm.
man, when Willem Dafoe goes off on Robert Pattinson
Mm-hmm.
about that, when he's like, "Hark! Like, may
Yeah.
Neptune strike thee down!" And like, it's this whole thing. It's disturbing. And then he's like,
Yeah.
"All right, fine. I like your food. I like your food."
Yeah, that movie, man, seemed timeless. You know, like that movie could have been made 100 years ago.
I mean, it looks like it was made 100 years ago. It was so
Yeah, that's kinda-
well done.
Right, that's kind of what I'm that's kind of the point I'm making, is the sense that it's a timeless piece. It just seems like it was made so long ago, but it's like at any point in time, you know, you could see it and feel like you're watching a classic movie.
Right. I believe Robert Eggers used like either like an old timey camera or an old timey film. And then
I believe it, yeah.
That weird, like almost perfectly square aspect ratio.
Right, because that old equipment will give you that the practical effect of that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the crazy like contrast, like the blacks are so black, and oh man, yeah.
Right. Yep.
It looks, yeah, I mean, yeah, it just looks like it wasn't done in post. Like it was shot with this old stuff.
Yep. It's awesome.
So, yeah.
It's so good.
You saw it, Chris, right?
Nope, I've never seen it.
Oh my God.
Oh,
you need to add that.
That's the thing is, yeah,
Such a cool
like
movie.
2019 was the year of movies that, yeah, I'll probably watch that at some point, and it's been like 4 years later, and I still haven't seen it.
Right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, one
All
day.
right, we will move on here to Uncut Gems.
Oh yes,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good, because I didn't see it, but I heard it was
Oh,
excellent, so I
nice.
added it.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so I watched this movie anticipating just, see this is going to sound like I'm joking here, but an Adam Sandler acting powerhouse, and it's exactly what I got. He's fantastic in this movie, absolutely fantastic. Again, he can do this shit if he wants to. So the fact that he doesn't, I kind of have more respect for it in that way. The fact that he'd make the ridiculous six. This is the same guy that was in
Right.
TV Halloween. This is the
Right.
same guy who did
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's almost mind blowing. It feels like it's not real, but no, he is amazing in this movie. You just everything just gets crazier and crazier. He can't get out of his own way. The intenseness builds up to the very, very end, and it's just like, I don't want to spoil. I highly recommend this movie, Brad. So I don't want to spoil the ending. But
Okay, fair enough.
Just it's it actually has a real life NBA player as an actor in this movie, and he doesn't do a bad job at all. Kevin Garnett, yeah. But it's about this jewelry guy. He gives loans out jewelry to athletes and whatnot, so they can wear to their games. And he's got this new one that comes in that he's been waiting for. He go, oh, I got this great. You're gonna love this one. He pulls it out of this box or something like that, and it's this massive gem. And he's like, look, I'll let you rent this out for a little bit, bring you good luck, and he's also betting on the games that he's to the basketball store. So it's a whole thing. He owes people money. He's trying to get out of avoiding them while they're chasing him down, avoiding loan sharks and whatnot, while trying to make his own money and trying to come out ahead. And he'll do whatever he can to do what he to get ahead, but he starts to break, and it's just, oh man, it's so good.
It's awesome.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
all right. I'll definitely check it out at some point.
Yep.
Now, moving on, we have Marriage Story. You guys ever watch Marriage Story?
Never saw it.
I never even heard of it.
Oh, is that with Adam Driver?
Yes, and
Okay.
ScarJo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've
it's
seen a
it's
scene from that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Noah Baumbach movie.
It's like I saw some like Midwest emo meme.
Yeah.
For the yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's a drama. It's really good. I haven't seen it since 2019, so I don't really remember anything specific, but I remember liking it. So there you go, Marriage Story. Next up, we have Little Women.
What?
Little
Was it a
Women.
remake?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Based on the book, Greta Gerwig movie.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of her films, and I've really liked them. I have not seen this one though, but it has a really good rating. So,
Okay.
Didn't she do Barbie?
Yes.
Did you watch that?
Okay.
I watched like half of it. It was pretty good.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know she did Little Women as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Barbie or this.
I forget her other films, but they're really good. A lot, just good drama, good dialogue.
Right.
So, I assume this Little Women movie is good as well. And now, moving on, this behemoth of a movie that I watched the first 10 minutes of, but couldn't bring myself because of the runtime, The Irishman.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have something to say about this
all
movie.
3.5 hours of that movie.
Oh my God.
I don't have as much to say probably as Nick. I watched it one time all the way through. I tried to watch it again like a couple years later, and I got maybe 2 hours in. And the fact that I still had an hour and a half to go, and I didn't bother, and I never went back to it. So I've seen it 1.5 times maybe. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was his best work at all. But it was good to see Joe Pesci back in a familiar style role, Okay, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I think that I love Scorsese. Just right off the bat, I like pretty much everything he's done. This movie, unfortunately, is my least favorite movie that he's done. I think that he wanted it to be his magnum opus. I expected it to be. I was like, oh man, this looks like might be the best movie he has ever made. But it was so underwhelming, and the runtime it should be cut in half. That movie should be cut in half. The CGI to make them look younger was bad.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Right, yeah, the runtime.
The little bit that I watched.
Yeah, it's terrible. So the CGI to make them look younger sucked. The runtime was outrageous, and then this might be it's the funniest scene I have ever seen in a Scorsese film. Probably even a Robert De Niro scene. Okay, so you guys have seen it, right? The Irishman.
Brad's only watched 10 minutes.
Right. Okay, so there's this scene where Robert De Niro's daughter comes home and says something like the shopkeeper was mean or did something or whatever to her. So Robert,
I've seen this scene.
Okay, yeah. So
on YouTube.
Yeah, he goes down there, and the whole fight scene is fucking ridiculous. It is so bad. He goes to throw the guy through the door, and like the glass just breaks before he even hits it. Right? They keep that in. And then he's on the side of the road, and there's just these like obviously put in post-production bunches, right? I mean, most of them are, but some of them, a lot of them are done really well. This was so sad. And so as you're watching De Niro beat this guy up, he's like stomping on him with his foot.
Kicks were pretty powerful, man. Come on.
And he's so old. He's an old man at this point. Right, exactly. That it looks so dumb.
Yeah,
it looks so bad.
Looked like he was kicking him in like slow motion.
Yeah,
he was like gently kicking him, but he was playing it like, oh my god, you're killing me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that guy who's getting beat up, he deserves a Oscar for his performance because there's no way he's fearing for his life from this old man who could barely get down the street. Like, and he's like trying to stomp him, right? And with the one foot that's kicking him, the other foot that's not kicking him is like stomping on the ground, like lightly in anger. It just looks so bad. I highly recommend just look that up on YouTube. Don't watch the whole fucking movie. Look up that scene on YouTube.
It had no point to it. It just kind of was like, it wasn't like, I don't know. There was no extreme high, extreme low. It was just this guy. It was based off a book from a guy who was like in the mob, and that was pretty much it. There was nothing like, because I mean, when you've made Goodfellas, you've made Casino, you've made The Departed, you've made all these mobster movies, you've seen the depths of which that life can take you, the highs, the lows, the crazy twists and turns. There's none of that in The Irishman. None of it.
None of
just
it.
a guy.
Huh.
Yep. And then
guy.
then you get the like Scorsese's version of how Hoffa died.
Yes.
At the end.
Yeah.
So it's, if anything, that's the only thing worth watching it for. But for 3.5 hours, no.
Right.
Well, all right. I will not watch that movie.
Just watch that scene.
Yeah, I'll watch that
your ass
scene
off.
and laugh again. All right, moving on here. We have Doctor Sleep, the sequel to The Shining.
Yeah, I watched that.
I never saw it, but I heard it was okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I read the book.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
the book was really good.
It's Danny Torrance all grown up, and he finds this girl with like super shining powers, and there's a bunch of like psychic vampires that suck the shining out of.
Yep.
And that, so they can remain immortal or something like that. That's the gist of it.
Yeah. I love the I mean, if you the movie is not good. The book, read the book. You like The Shining, right? And there's so much that he talks about from The Overlook and the trauma from that he's carried with him his whole life. And he's an alcoholic like his father.
Oh, okay.
And it's a whole thing. He actually gets to that town. I don't know. I've never actually seen the movie. I don't know how he gets to the town, but as far as what I know at the beginning of the book, he's kind of a wanderer, drunk, and he ends up taking like a boxcar, like a train to that town. Just kind of ends up there.
Yeah.
And gets a job. He just gets like little jobs here and there. But yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
He's definitely an alcoholic. Okay, I know that. And he's played by Ewan McGregor, I believe.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
All right, so there you have it, Dr. Sleep. Couple more here. Just a couple. I have a Ford v Ferrari, or Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, okay, cool.
I
never saw it, but it has a great rating.
Oh yeah, it's okay. So it's a true story about Ford competing with Ferrari. Kept winning these races.
Yeah,
over in Europe.
The 24-hour Le Mans race. Yeah.
And the guy Shelby, with Ford Mustang, was getting tired of getting beat, so he's looking for a new motor, a new way. So they get this hothead cop, but he's really good, but he's not easy to control, sort of deal. One of those characters, but sort of a true story because he was like that. Played by Christian Bale, and Shelby, the guy who heads for Shelby Mustang, the Shelby brand for Ford, is played by Matt Damon, and he knows Christian Bale, and they're like friends, and he's trying to get him to help him build a awesome car that he wants him to race. Christian Bale's a racer. He races vehicles. So they want him to do it because he's the one built. He knows the ins and outs of the engine, the car, everything. So let him do it. And it's a really good movie, based on a true story. Excellent acting. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like a scene on YouTube, and I was interested from it because the acting looked good.
Yep.
Production was good.
All right. Well, maybe I'll check that out.
Yeah, one scene in particular, the Shelby is trying to get funding for this car, and he's got to go to like the head of Ford. So like his dad, the guy at Ford, is the one who started the Ford company. So it's been around since 1912 or something. So this is early 60s, I think it is. This is all taking place, maybe like late 50s, early 60s. Anyway,
Right.
so he misses the way the cars used to feel and stuff like that. So there's somebody who's kind of lower in the company who's wants to have his hands in everything. Shelby basically locks him in a room and has a Christian Bale's character take the president of the company out for a test drive in the new vehicle, and it's like it was like a euphoric experience for him. It was like he had never ridden in a car that fast, that quick turning, and just the sound of the engine alone. I believe it was a G40, I think they call it. You can get it in like Gran Turismo too.
Okay.
But no, it's a really
it's classic.
a crazy awesome performance car. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I just remember that scene. That's
yeah,
cool.
man, it sounds like if you're a gearhead, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna fucking love that movie.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna love it.
Sounds like it. All right, last one of personal picks. Added at the last second because I was texting my sister and she said, "Oh, you should add this one." 1917.
Oh hell yeah!
Sam Mendes movie.
Go ahead. I've been talking for a
well,
bit.
I've never seen it, but I asked her like what she would say about it, and she said it's a World War I movie following a pair of British soldiers who have to deliver a message to the front to stop an attack. Cinematically, it was done in a single shot, so that was pretty sweet. Great movie, good story, won some awards, I think. There you go.
Yep.
And then I looked up the cinematographer is Roger Deakins. So yeah, of course it's going to be a beautiful looking movie.
Oh yeah.
But that's a really neat concept that it's well, at least it's edited to look like
it's edited to make it look like that, but also at the same time they did do a lot of single shot. Like you can tell when it's edited into itself, right? If you but yeah, no, dude, it's so good. Especially with that aspect in it, because you see the soldiers at the beginning just lying there resting, and then you get to watch them go through all the channels, and then end up from resting to muddy to bloody to to running to hiding to it's so good, and it really just puts you there. And honestly, this is a movie that if you haven't seen in theaters, which I didn't, then I think that you've missed out on something really, really good.
I saw it in theaters.
Oh man,
ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the single shot stuff is just amazing. It works so well, especially in a war film. One of the things that stuck out to me was that you think this one guy's like the main character, but it ends up not being him because things don't go well for him, and it ends up being like one of the other guys. Like, what the hell? And he goes through this whole thing. If I'm not mistaken, this is the movie where he's in a hole, like he's hiding, and he runs into another guy who I think he stabs like in a like an enemy soldier is like lying in the pit, like in the ground with him, like one of the bombs dropped there, so like, there's a huge hole in the ground. The enemy soldier hiding in there, he sees him, he freaks out, he stabs him, and then his like conscience comes to him, and he starts freaking out, and he tries to help him, and he pulls the knife out and starts giving him medical supplies. He's like, I'm so sorry. The guy's just freaking out.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing, and it just. And yeah, and they're young boys when they start off. All they want to, we're going to war. And it just immediately goes south within the first 15 minutes. They're like, "Fuck, we made a mistake here," and the whole movie you're edge of your seat, and you're just watching the destruction of the world around you, and how the hell anybody could put themselves through any of this, and just war is hell.
And it makes you again feels like you're with them.
Yeah,
because the way the movie's shot. So it's like it is so good. So good.
Excellent choice, Amber.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks, Amber.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I quickly looked it up, and I guess
her brother.
I guess some of those shots took like 6 months to like get all the movements down perfectly to make it a continuous shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's wild.
It's no easy task. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, another movie I definitely need to check out.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that was fun because now we're moving into the worst movies of 2019.
I'm
gonna plow through these first 5 or so, and then the last 2 or 3
8
might have something to say about.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with Demon House, which was supposed to be a documentary done by Zach Baggins, who did like Ghost Adventures, that show.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
It's a house in Gary.
Oh right, I heard about this.
And I never saw it, but apparently like there's nothing paranormal that happens. It's all hearsay and reenactments. And I guess he like locks him, he barricades himself in the house, and you never see what happens inside. And I guess it's all just fucking made up bullshit.
Yeah.
So fuck that movie.
Great movie.
Great movie. And now, guess what? Tyler Perry's back with a Medea family funeral.
God damn it. The whole family's dying, not just Medea.
A joyous family reunion becomes a hilarious nightmare as Medea and the crew travel to backwards Georgia, where they find themselves unexpectedly planning a funeral that might unveil unsavory family secrets. So,
Jesus,
that's gonna be great.
All right.
Coming up next, the directorial debut by Mr. Fred Durst.
Shut the
What?
fuck up.
The Fanatic, starring John Travolta.
What?
Yep. Fred Durst
God.
directed and wrote it.
This is a bad movie night movie.
Apparently, he based it on an actual like fan that was like stalking him.
Oh, wait a minute. I know this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I know of this one. Yeah.
John Travolta plays seems like a mentally impaired man who's obsessed with like his favorite action star, and I guess he like blows him off at like a book signing or something, and then he starts stalking him, and it starts getting crazier and crazier, and whatever the fuck.
And he did it all for the Nookie.
That's right, and
yeah.
Fucking Limp Bizkit made a song for the movie.
Shut up, dude.
The Truth. It's called The Truth. Performed by Limp Bizkit. So that's probably.
Oh my god.
That's probably during the end. It's probably during the end credits, I assume.
Oh.
Or like an opinion.
Fanatic.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
Oh.
I'm a fanatic.
All right. That's the Fanatic. Next up, Child's Play. A remake of
Jesus Christ.
Child's Play.
Because they needed that.
Right. Yep. That's what I assumed. So, that's just a waste of time.
Isn't the voice of Chucky Mark Hamill?
Ooh, I don't know.
I believe it is.
I could find out here in a second.
It's the only redeeming thing.
Yeah. And
Mark Hamill's voice acting is unreal.
he's really good at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, if it's not, then, I mean, even if it is, it's not, it might be worth checking out. But if not, then.
I am not seeing it.
Okay.
Cast and credits order. Kid Ben? I don't even know the name of the doll. I don't think it's even Chucky.
My Buddy? Big Buddy?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try
maybe
and look that up.
Maybe he's uncredited because fuck that. We'll just say Oh wait, hold on. There it is. Yeah, Mark Hamill. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, he's a great voice actor, so at least it's got that going for it. But it's just like weirdly modern. Like it's a super like high tech doll with like an app and shit. That's like, I don't even know.
So it's not connected to the Wi-Fi. Can't kill you.
Here's your problem. You had it switched to evil. So yeah, just seemed like another remake that didn't need to be done because
for sure
the original's great. And another movie that didn't need to be done in a series of movies, we have Rambo: Last Blood.
Oh fuck all! Never
Rambo
saw it.
He must confront his past and unearth his ruthless combat skills to exact revenge in a final mission.
It's the same movie.
It is the same movie.
I did watch this movie.
You've seen this one?
Yeah.
It seems like it's just over the top gore and.
Des loves Rambo.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
she was like, "There's a new Rambo movie." Yeah, she's like, "There's a new Rambo movie." Yeah, she loves that stuff. I think that she's just a big fan of what's his name,
Stallone.
Stallone.
Yeah, I don't know why she likes Rocky.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She likes all that stuff. So she loves Rambo, and so when there's a new Rambo movie, she's like, "We have to see this." So I'm just thinking, it's just going to be gun fights and explosions and bad acting, just anything. Exactly what I expected, and it was exactly what I expected.
Okay,
so,
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then,
not good, by the way. Not good.
But good for what it is, I guess.
Yeah, if that's what you're looking for, you're gonna find it.
All right.
So
it sounds like that. I think it was just called Rambo from like 10 years ago. It was just excessive gore and blowing shit up and shooting people, and
same movie.
So it's the same thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It's got a daughter in this one.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing. New. So yeah.
Nice. Good for you, Rambo.
Right.
All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to this literal nightmare of a movie, Cats.
Oh my
Remember
God.
the Cats remake
with James Corden?
Yep.
Taylor Swift.
Judi Dench, Ian McKellen. I'm looking at the trailer right now because I'm on the IMDb page.
You know what we should do?
It's not. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
We
shouldn't do anything. We should just move on.
No, well, we should do though. Honestly, thinking about it right now, it's been proposed to me a few times. We should do a podcast episode on a tier list of the worst year for movies in the 2010s. I think 2019 might be S tier.
Right.
Okay.
True.
We could do for the 90s, 2000s, 80s, 70s.
Yeah.
Do something like that. But as if we were to ever do that for the 2010s, I'm putting 2019 in S tier. This is historically bad. We've had, Aladdin, Lion King remakes that nobody needed. We had Star Wars Episode 7, the worst Star Wars movie by a mile. We have Cats. We have a Fred Durst movie, for Christ's sake. I mean, this is a strong field of really shitty movies.
I still have 2 more to go.
That's true. All right, go on.
All right, next up, a movie that I don't think anyone has seen. It has a 1.9 on IMDb. It's directed by Glenn Danzig.
What?
It's called Veronica. A surreal and bloody trilogy of erotic horror stories. So it's all gore. It's all gore and tits, as far as I can tell.
Great.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Looking at the goof section, in several scenes the characters freeze and stop moving, or they just stand there awkwardly for several seconds after they finish saying their lines, making it obvious that the actors are waiting for the director to yell cut after they finish a scene.
Leave it in post-production.
Yep, and they leave. Apparently they left it in, just like they stop talking and then like look off camera, like, "Oh, are we done?"
I can imagine post-production being like, all right, someone goes to edit that out. Then Glenn slaps him on the back of the head. What are you doing? What do you mean?
Right.
I didn't say cut then. I said cut.
Yeah, right.
5 seconds later. Well, yeah. But no, when I say cut, that's when you cut. That's the edit. The cut right there.
Right. This is art here. You're fucking it up.
We are 138. Who wrote that? Me. Right?
Exactly.
I was in the Misfits.
Yeah. Don't you know who I am?
We were horror punk. I know how to make a horror movie.
Horror bowl movie, maybe, but yeah. All right.
All right. Last, now this movie, I don't even know. It's called Loquisha. Now,
what?
The quick little synopsis: faced with a financial crisis, Joe, a divorced, quick-witted bartender, applies for a job at a failing Detroit radio station as a black female disc jockey. Let that sink in for a second.
Say that again?
Yeah.
Okay, this guy Joe has a financial crisis. Joe's a white guy, by the way.
Of course.
He applies for a job at a Detroit radio station as a female black disc jockey.
Okay, so what happens at the interview?
Who's the actor? Who's the guy?
Okay, it's a phone interview, by the way. I watched the trailer, which gave away pretty much everything. Director, writer, and main guy in the movie, Jeremy Seville. I've never heard of him.
That's not the guy from like the UK who got caught molesting children.
No, this is some other guy. I know who you're talking about. I think it's a slightly different name. But anyways, so yeah, he applies as himself to this radio station. He doesn't get the job. And then he noticed on like the, whatever the job posting, it's like minorities and women encouraged. So he just decides to talk like a sassy black woman.
Wow.
Like straight up, like what you think.
And then at the end of the movie, there's probably where he has to be two places at once.
No, you would think that, but I couldn't find an actual plot synopsis, so I had to look at like the user reviews. Apparently he gets found out and everyone forgives him. Like he does not get any sort of like repercussions for this.
None.
And like some of the quotes he says in the trailer, and he's like, I think I'm actually a black woman trapped in a white man's body.
Oh, dude. And you know what I want to see? I want to see a movie where it's the opposite. It's a black woman that tries to be like a white guy named Joe.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
and like,
and she's like, "Hello, yes, I am Joe."
And actually, based on like the what would you call it, like the cover art, I guess you would call it. It implies that maybe at some point he does like a Mrs. Doubtfire type transformation, like to become this sassy black woman.
Oh my!
Because it's got him and then two halves of a black lady's head, and he has him like off to his side. Like he's going to put on the mask, which I think they should have done. Just go all the way with it.
Wow.
Yeah, if we're going to do this, let's do it.
Right.
But he's like talking to people and, like, I am Loquisha. Like that kind of, like, and that's that's the whole thing.
Jesus
the whole movie.
How lazy can you get? Oh my God. All right. Yeah, that's terrible.
Wow. That's, great choice for worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend going on IMDb and just watching the trailer. That's all you need to know. It's horrific.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't even, I'm just like, how does that get made in 2019?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
And luckily it has a 1.6 out of 10. So, and I believe it has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
it does. I checked it out.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Yeah, not even funny and racist. One of the user reviews, like it's all just ugh.
Yeah.
So
that's bad.
It's not good. And you know what? And that's it for movies from me.
There's someone out there though, I always say there's someone out there that loves that movie.
Oh yeah, some boomers slapping their knee,
Right, yeah. You gotta see it.
Well, that'll do it for movies then. Thank you, Brad. Thank you so much. That was awesome good stuff there.
Definitely.
All right.
I'm gonna take a nap now.
All right, go ahead and take a nap because we're going into our next section of the podcast where things continue to go downhill with the music of 2019. Music of 2019.
Man, it's the music of the 2010s. I'm gonna listen till I can't no more.
And for the top albums of 2019, we have Igor by Tyler, the Creator. This album is considered one of the best of 2019. And funny enough, there's a song from this album that I made the worst lyrics.
Nice.
So, you guys know of this album or of Tyler,
I know
the
of
Creator?
the Tyler, the Creator, because I've seen a
I've heard
couple
the
like
name.
memes or something by him or videos.
Right.
But I have no idea about any of his music or anything that he does.
Oh yeah, not worth listening to.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Next album is of top albums of 2019, coming in at I'd say I guess maybe number 2. I didn't really have a strong amount because this is tough, guys. This is tough.
Oh, I know.
Father of the Bride by Vampire Weekend. That album. This is a top album. People bought it. People loved it. People listened to it. And I used to like these guys a long time ago. But I've listened to this album. Like I've listened to all this stuff that I've researched. And I listened to some of this album, and it's just not good. It's just they've completely lost touch. They've gone a different direction that I'm not particularly fond of.
Gotcha.
So,
I never listened to the band or the albums or any of the songs. So
okay. Yeah, they're different now, but they used to be really kind of indie rock.
Gotcha. I've heard the name. I've heard of them before.
Yeah, I've probably actually heard some of their earlier stuff when they were indie rock.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys know that song that opens up in Step Brothers? Like the song that opens up during like the beginning of the movie.
Oh, I'm sure I do. He played it.
Right. That's Vampire Weekend. That's like their first out from their first album. That's generally when they were, favorable, but not anymore.
Gotcha.
So the next album would be Norman fucking Rockwell by Lana Del Rey.
Oh,
That's the name of the album?
Yeah, Norman fucking Rockwell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey, yeah.
Waffle House, Lana Del Rey.
Right.
I should think she married a guy who runs a gator farm in Florida, I think.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Good on her.
He's like 20 or 30 years older than her. And
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
like just this kind of ugly, wrinkled up dude.
Huh. Interesting.
He must have something going for him.
Right. Well, so I listened to some of this album, and she does have a good voice.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
So the next album is Number 6 Collaborations Project by Ed Sheeran. And this is I listened to this
Stupid title.
I know.
It's like so like sterile. Number 6 collaboration.
It's actually a sequel to Sheeran's 2011 compilation Extended Play, the Number 5 Collaborations Project.
Oh, okay.
So were there 4 more prior?
I guess so.
Maybe you scrapped the first 4. And
this is a huge money grab because it's featuring so many artists. Khalid, Camila Cabello, Cardi B, Chance the Rapper, PNB Rock, Stormzy, Yebba, Justin Bieber, the list goes on. Like Eminem, 50 Cent. I mean, everyone's in this fucking shit. Some dude named A Boogie Wit Da Hoodie is in this crap.
This is reminding me of last year. It's like AI generated names.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Right.
These aren't real people.
Right.
What did you say? Yebba? Like Yebba Dabba Doo?
Yebba. Yeah. Yebba. I'm sure that there's one named Deba Doo here later on down the line.
Deba Doo Doo.
Right. Yeah, no kidding. So yeah.
Poop-de-doop.
Oh yeah.
As you can imagine, it sucks.
Yeah.
This album sucks. And but according to critics, it was great.
All right.
So at the last album that we have because I had to save some top albums for worst. I had to.
Yeah, fair enough.
So the last album that we have of top albums of 2019 would be What You See Is What You Get by Luke Combs.
Country.
Yeah. And
or something like country.
I listened to some of it, and it's generic country, still holding on to some of the post 9/11 style. Basically, Luke Combs is just an obese or overweight version of Kenny Chesney.
Okay, yeah. I thought he was like, wasn't it some chubby fellow with like a neck beard or something going on there?
Mm-hmm.
What you see is what you get. Well, what I saw, what I expected is exactly what I got. So
Right.
he's not lying.
God, he does.
not lying.
He does literally have a neck beard.
Oh yeah. So we'll move on, unless you guys have anything else to say about Luke Combs.
No, fuck. I have no.
I mean, I'm sure it's better than that trap country or that modern overproduced country.
Ugh.
Right? You know, like if
Can't
it
get much
sounds
worse.
like old country, like that's something.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's very mainstream.
We need to bring back Toby Keith.
Yeah, Toby Keith seems like a legend in comparison to this crap. So for the worst albums, these are the worst albums of 2019.
Gotcha.
Lover by Taylor Swift.
Gotcha.
Generic, boring, sounds overproduced.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep. Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone.
Right on.
That guy again.
Good God. This is appearances from DaBaby, Future, Halsey, Meek Mill, Lil Baby, Ozzy Osbourne, and the
Holy
list
shit.
goes on.
Holy hell.
Wait. There were 2 babies in there.
Okay, yeah. So there was DaBaby.
Okay, DaBaby,
Right?
and
then Lil Baby.
Lil Baby. Okay.
Then we also have a Young Thug that's involved.
Okay.
A Travis Scott and someone named SZA.
Za.
Right. This sucks, as you can imagine. I listened to it. It's not any good.
What about the Ozzy song? He's got to
Hold on. That's later.
Oh,
that's
okay.
later. So yeah, bad stuff. So we have the next worst album of 2019, Fine Line by Harry Styles. And Harry Styles is, of course, the guy from One Direction, who Liam just died, actually.
Yes. Are there like 2 Liams?
One of the Liams died, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, they got one to spare. Go on.
Right. But again, this is just more generic crap. The quote-unquote music that he makes, I've heard done better by hundreds of other artists. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like we're creatively bankrupt as a species.
I mean, literally, Rick Beato does an excellent cover of this, where every single fucking song is the exact same chords, progression,
Right.
everything, the same beat, the same everything.
Oh yeah,
recycled lyrics, recycled everything. It's just recycled.
Yep.
I have no idea. Yeah, it's infuriating sometimes.
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
They could just put it together and make some money off of it. Who cares?
Yep.
You know, and because it sells, the shit sells.
When was the last time you heard a key change in a fucking song?
No kidding.
Oh God.
So
I would love a key change in something.
Well, you're not going to get it from these next guys, because this worst album, another worst album of 2019, Happiness Begins. I would disagree with that title, by the way. I think we all would. Happiness Begins by the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, good to know they're still making music.
Go around.
So, like I said, more like where happiness ends. This album was us seeing a return of the brothers, and the album was well received by critics, and it's considered their best. If this is their best, what's their worst?
Everything else.
Yeah, everything else. So the next worst album of 2019 is the album Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. And I say no thank you next to that.
I'm okay with the next, but you're not welcome.
Right? Yeah. Again, I've listened to this crap, and my God, guys, I mean, it's hard to distinguish sometimes between who is who.
Yeah.
You know, if they didn't have a name, I could be like, that's any of them. That's any of them.
Yep.
So for another, I got 2 more. I have so many more worst albums than top, because they just didn't deserve it. They just did not. I know. I just could not force myself to be like, this is the top, even though critics say it is. I just can't. I just can't. When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go by Billie Eilish.
Yes.
It reminds me of magnets. How do they work? You know?
ICP.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
It's so
Miracles.
profound. Like,
Miracles,
where do we go when we fall asleep?
Right.
Like, really think about it.
It's so stupid. Oh my God, I can't with this shit, man. So yeah, we got nothing to say about that, and thankfully, I'd be really upset if you guys were like, I love that.
I just know about the bad. Is that the Bad Guy song album on that, or is a song on that album Bad Guy?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
You know what? Who cares?
So,
that's true. Yeah. So for I think
the thing about go on. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You can go ahead and say what you need to say.
The thing about Billie Eilish is that all her songs sound exactly the same. She has the exact same way of singing every single song. It's the exact same fucking thing.
Right.
Like the first time I heard it, I thought, well, that's interesting. That's different. Well, it's no longer interesting. It's no longer different. It's the exact same thing. I don't know how they get away. You know, it is what it is.
They get away with it.
They get away with it.
It's a crime, and they get away with it.
It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame. It's her and her brother making shit music in her fucking bedroom. I mean, Jesus Christ. All right, go on.
So for the final and worst, probably the worst album of 2019, the album DNA by the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, yeah.
This is their 9th studio album.
Backstreet's back.
It did really well in Japan.
Of course.
Oh, big in Japan, for sure.
So, yeah, Backstreet's back. It sucks that they returned to begin with.
It's like a horror villain. It's like Jason or Freddy.
Yeah, they are way past their time. Like there was that few years in the early 2000s where, you know, the boy bands were a thing and, you know, not bad, you know, catchy stuff, but yeah, no boy band needs to be around these days.
All right, they're not even boys, they're old men. It's an old man.
Yeah,
old
they're
man
a man band. Yeah.
Geriatric band. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, the Backstreet Geriatric.
I don't think they're that old, but yeah, they're getting there. But when they release their 35th album, when they're in their 80s, yeah, then they will be.
Okay, so that ends the best and worst, or top albums, and then worst albums of 2019. So I'm gonna go into personal album picks. However, there is only one. I've tried really, really hard to find anything else but this. And you guys would totally agree with me. It's the only one that's worth listening to the whole year.
If you, I imagine you have to be mentioning it, but I'm not going to say it. But
right,
I only saw one. Go on.
Right. So this album was the best of the year. Like it was actually a top album, but it is so it would soil. It's, you know, putting it in the list with that. I can't do it. I cannot put it in the list with it. It has to be on its own thing, right? Not only was it a top album, it's a personal pick for me as well. It's Fear Inoculum by Tool.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
It's their 5th studio album. It went #1 in 2019. 2 songs received Grammy nominations, Fear Inoculum and Tempest, or Zempest, however you want to pronounce it. Tempest ended up actually winning the Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance.
The song is 15 minutes long.
It's incredible, yeah. And I just urge the listeners, if they haven't heard it, go listen to it right now. Well, not right now when this podcast is over. And you will, it's just incredible. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's a personal pick. Even though it's a top album, I could not put it with the rest of that crap. It is its own thing, and it's the best thing that was released in 2019. So, I just want you guys to freely talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember Brad gave me a I'm pretty sure it had to have been you. You gave me like a file list for all the Fear Inoculum songs before they were actually released.
Yes.
And so for an entire week after that, it was through like Facebook chat. I went through my chat, went back to the whole thing, and would just go through each one, and I'd play, because like Fear Inoculum's about around 12 minutes long or something
like that. That had already come out though, as like a little teaser.
Title
track.
Yeah, that's right. Then I heard Numa for the first time, and
I gave you the whole album.
Yeah, Descending.
Well, I think it was missing the segues, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it was complete. I remember it not being complete.
Because it was too long to fit on a CD, so they cut out some of the segues.
Okay.
But do you remember the story behind that?
No, go ahead.
Oh man, I was on Reddit, on the Tool subreddit, and someone like who worked at Target got a copy, like basically stole a copy of Fear Inoculum, like however many weeks before it was to be sold.
Oh yeah.
And it was like this, and he was like in Las Vegas. He had a picture holding it. He's like, I'm here. I'm on the road. Like, who is around to like, rip this CD and put it on the internet? And then some guy's like, I'm at this hotel, like come to this room. And I'm like on my phone on the edge of my seat, like, oh shit, is he gonna get pulled over? Is he gonna...
in real time? That's
it's basically real time. I'm like refreshing it, and it's like, okay, we're in the hotel room, and the guy's got his laptop, and we're gonna rip it.
Sick.
And then they put it up on, I don't even know what file sharing site, and then I downloaded it, and I'm like, yep, here it is, and I gave it to Chris.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
in
that was
real time. You got That's so cool.
God, it was like fucking getting to be like midnight, I think, and they're like starting to upload it, and like, oh fuck, this is the real deal right here.
Right.
That was so cool.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I used to listen to Fear Inoculum because I think that right as the album was being released, they finally went digital, and would be able
Yes.
to, you could hear them on like YouTube or Spotify or all that stuff.
Yep.
But the only one that was released at that time was Fear Inoculum, just that one track. So that's the only thing I had heard. But I used to listen to that because it was like 11, I think it's 11 and a half minutes long or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like
It was
that.
just enough time for me to get something to drink, eat a little bit on my 15-minute break. And I would listen to Fear Inoculum the whole break. And once that was over, I was like, all right, I know it's time to go in. So I would use that as like a time measurement thing.
That's awesome.
Chocolate Chip Trip. Oh man, I still love that. It's just this crazy.
That's
when
a nuts
the people
track.
talking, like listening, I can't remember who it was. I think it was System of a Down and a couple other people. Their drummer and some other drummers as well were in the studio listening to the album. They heard that track and they wanted to know how many drummers were drumming on that track. And they were like, it's just Danny. What are you talking about? No, it's just Danny. There's no way that's no, that's just one person. Get the yeah. It's just one person. It's
doing a
nuts.
crazy drum solo.
Absolutely fucking nuts. It's such a
it's amazing.
It's a trip. Yeah, and Numa was definitely a favorite of mine. Once I heard it, I was like, oh, that's classic.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
classic
my favorite.
Tool. Yeah. As a Descending, I think was cool. There's I can't remember all the tracks right now off the top of my head, but
Invincible.
man, there's so many good ones.
That one was good.
Yeah, Tempest is good. I always called it Tempest. The fact that was 15 minutes long and it won a Grammy, and I remember Danny Carey gave the speech that he couldn't believe they won. He's like, hey, maybe that gives me hope that people actually still care about good music. One of the coolest things about it, I'll let Brad talk, is that when this album was released, it knocked off Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, and the Swifties were so pissed about that.
They were pissed.
Seemingly pissed. Yeah.
Seemingly. And when people went to Burning Man that year, they tried to play Fear Inoculum and dance to it. And you just can't, because it's not a song you got tracks you dance to. Ridiculous. They're trying to find the beat, the rhythm, and it's like in 8, 16, 8, 4, 9, 7,000. Yeah, who the hell knows? All right, go ahead, Brett.
I remember the first time listening to when they released the title track. It's like, the first Tool song in 13 years.
Yeah.
And it's on Spotify, so I'm like playing it through my stereo, and it's the beginning's that I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then the like the swelling guitars, they go like left and right. I'm like, yeah, this is Tool. And then man, when the fucking bass and drums come in, just that Tool tone, I'm just I'm like, I shed a single tear. I'm just like, yes.
For me, this album for me encapsulates all of Tool's career in one album. Like for me,
it has a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Right. And for me, this is their magnum opus.
Oh man,
that's a hot take.
I know it's a hot take. I know it's a hot take, but it is for me.
Sure.
Hey, fair enough, man.
Yeah.
I'd say, for me, it's hard for me between Anima and Lateralis. I mean, I would still say Lateralis.
Opiate, Lateralis, 10,000 Days. I mean,
it's all fantastic.
It's all amazing.
It's all good. Yeah.
But I truly feel like this album just encapsulates their career.
Yeah.
And it's like a big, like, we love you to our fans.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so good.
Supposed to be working on new music. Hopefully we'll get some soon.
Hell yeah. So if you guys have nothing else to say about that, because it'll come back around, of course. So we have the top songs of 2019. And of course I start with Tempest by Tool, because it's won the Grammy and best album of the year. Incredible stuff. We already covered that, so we'll move on. Top songs 2019. 7 Rings by Ariana Grande. And this song is a lazy remake of the song from The Sound of Music. You know that song, These Are a Few of My Favorite Things.
Right, yeah.
It's the melody with her lazy and uninspired lyrics, and the younger crowd likely thinks she came up with this melody. It's just one of those fucking garbage. Top song. Apparently.
Creative bankruptcy.
You're right. So another top song of 2019, Beautiful People by Ed Sheeran. No. Yeah, right. By Ed Sheeran featuring Khalid. I listened to it, And what do you know? Has a generic beat and a generic melody. I've actually heard this song done before 1,000,000 times over. And it's just this theme of laziness and uninspired work in the 2010s of music, you know?
Yeah.
Well, take a look at Ed Sheeran himself. He looks lazy and uninspired.
Especially that eye.
Oh,
so-
shit. Oh, that was good. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he had a lazy eye. He does.
Yeah.
I try not to
bit.
look at him.
A little bit.
You have to look at him. It's like the Ark of the Covenant.
Just see,
Yeah, he's just this dopey looking guy, you know.
your face
He
melts
is.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful people.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I just want to get that a T-shirt with just Ed Sheeran's face on it, just as lazy and uninspired. That's it.
Hell yeah, dude! I'd buy that shirt.
I want to get my Nirvana shirt. I got to buy that again.
Oh, you have to. You have to. Just to let the listeners know, what's that Nirvana shirt again?
Oh, it's the it's a shirt. It says Nirvana. It's a black shirt. It says Nirvana, but the picture is of the Hanson brothers.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I wore that to a festival once, and a guy looked at me and did a double take, and he's like, "Nice." He walked out. I was like, yeah.
Like wait, what?
Nice T-shirt. Yeah.
So another top song of 2019, we have "Shug" by Da Baby.
Right on.
Da Baby.
And I listened to it, and I just felt old when I listened to it.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand the appeal, and I just feel out of touch. So we'll move on.
Are we so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
That's right. Yes.
We are not old men yelling at clouds.
That's right.
So it's fucking Seymour.
The last top song of 2019, "Circles" by Post Malone. Bad crap.
I don't even think I ever heard that before in my life. Not a clue.
It's bad. It just, as you can imagine. Now on to the worst songs of 2019.
Okay. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be back.
Okay.
Just keep going because I do not care.
So, of course, as always, the previous songs mentioned, aside from Tempest by Tool, are easily considered the worst.
Right.
However, we do a deep dive here on History with Hersafat. We leave no stone unturned.
No, we do not.
And here are the worst songs of 2019. And the first one is "Beer Never Broke My Heart" by Luke Combs.
Holy shit.
I listened to this song.
Yeah.
And I watched the music video. I had to watch the music video because you know how country is.
Oh yeah.
With their fucking music videos. They're never good. They're bad. They're hilarious. So in the music video of "Beer Never Broke My Heart," Luke Combs and the boys are playing their music in what seems to be a dive bar.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the song is, "One time a bass broke my line. My boss fired me. My dog ran off." I kid you not. These are
the lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh my.
They're loosely based lyrics, but man, it is what he says, right?
Yeah.
My dog ran off. My wife left me.
Yeah.
My truck broke down. Politicians lie.
Oh hell yeah.
But a long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Yeah. And the way he sings it is, "A long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart."
Oh my. Wait a second.
Yeah. You
Oh
probably
my
heard
God.
it. Yeah, you've almost.
No, I've only heard this song once, and I went to go see friends of mine play at the fair this summer. And because they were at the fair, they were like, "We got to play a country song, I guess." And they chose that song. And I remember hearing it.
I was there.
Brad and I were like, "Yeah, that's in drop D." Sure enough. Yeah, that song's in drop D, which was interesting for a country song.
I recall it sounding pretty cool. It had a cool riff.
Like a no.
Yeah, just like your
Yeah.
standard country kind of
Okay.
rockin' riff. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that made one of the worst songs of 2019.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
No, absolutely fair enough.
Totally fair, right?
I can say that those guys would not have ever played that song had they not been at the county fair.
Right.
And
Totally.
the fact that they probably learned it in like a day,
Oh,
like
easily.
the day before,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are easy to learn because it's your typical country tropes.
Right. You could just make shit up and people are, I think that's what he said.
Right, exactly. Well, fuck, hell.
Beer never
I don't care
broke his
what.
heart, but the amount of fat clogging his arteries might.
Right. Oh, most certainly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's a heart left to break for Luke Combs at this point.
It's the size of it's an elephant heart at this point.
Oh God.
At some point, a long neck ice cold beer will break his heart. So
just see this. I'll be damned.
I'll be damned. So, another of the worst songs of 2019. We have God's Country by Blake Shelton.
Seems to be a theme here.
Yeah. So I use the same technique for the previous song. Okay. And that technique, of course, was watch the music video.
Yeah.
Right? Listen to the song. It starts off Blake Shelton in the video standing in a field staring off to the horizon. And that's in color. Then it cuts back and forth between older videos of past people working, and that's in black and white. And it's just him walking around in bumfuck nowhere. It mentions baptism, Dixie whistles, the devil in Georgia, blah, blah, blah. And then claiming this is God's country. So you can only imagine.
Which God? I was always curious.
I don't know. I know. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. It's a, yeah. And okay, so I got two more. This next song is a total given. This song was originally released in 2018, but this particular version was released in 2019, and that version actually gave it the massive boost in popularity. And that song is, and I think we all know, Old Town Road by Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus. What else is there to really say about this song other than what we don't already know? It's so bad that we used the melody to describe how bad the music is in the 2010s. It's very possible that this is the worst song of not just the 2010s, but of all time.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
I had to listen to that song a lot to make that fucking ripoff that we use.
God, I'm so sorry, Brad.
There is one good thing though, because it samples a Nine Inch Nails song, which is actually a good song.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's from Ghosts 1 through 4. It's all instrumental Nine Inch Nails stuff, and
Okay.
I forget the exact one, but it's good. But yeah, they sampled it, or whoever sampled it. Then I think Lil Nas X bought it from the guy who sampled it. He sampled it and put a beat behind it, and then he bought it from the guy and then used it. However that works.
Right.
Gotcha. All right.
But yeah,
Right.
but this version, it includes Billy Ray Cyrus, right? That's the whole
Yes.
thing. That's what makes it different.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
Quote,
they
unquote,
had
different.
that. Exactly. They had that original in 2018, but they did this one featuring Billy Ray in 2019. And that is what made it soar in popularity. Nonsense.
That is baffling.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
How
Ray
could
Cyrus
Billy
would
Ray
add to the
Cyrus do
popularity.
that? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, if that's the case, then what a low bar that has
Right.
already been set. My God.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right.
Yeah, just
So-
shame on us all.
Shame. Just shame.
Shame on us all
Right.
of us.
Yes.
We are all guilty.
We are. For some way,
Somehow we are,
everyone
yeah.
on planet Earth is guilty for the sin of Old Town Road.
Yes.
So the last song, and I believe, Brad, this is a song you were trying to mention earlier with Ozzy and Post Malone.
Oh,
The
yeah.
song is Take What You Want by Post Malone. Now, Post Malone as an individual, from what I've seen, is a pretty cool guy. Chill, down to earth.
Yeah, I watched
Compassionate
his,
guy.
I watched his Hot Ones interview, and he seemed like a really cool guy.
Yeah, right? Just can't write a song to save his life. One of the worst songs on the album, and is the one featuring Ozzy, of course. The song "Take What You Want." Yep, it's just embarrassing listening to it alone. And I actually heard someone in public blasting this with their windows down. Like, oh my God, like that made me sick. It made me sick. And it made me just my heart broke for humanity in that moment. It really did. Have you guys heard this song?
No, the last Ozzy thing I heard was his own, like, because I don't know how he's like 90 years old now. It was this song that's like, all my life been over the top. I don't know what I do, I don't want to stop. And it's the same
Oh no.
lines over and over again.
Right.
And Zach Wilde plays the guitar. Yeah.
God, Ozzy sounds terrible.
This "Take What You Want" is auto-tuned Ozzy.
Yep, it is.
Big time auto-tuned Ozzy. And it just sucks. It just sucks. Ozzy should have retired a long
Take what you want from me.
Long
Take
time
what
ago.
you want from me.
Yep. Take what you want from me. Yeah, it's garbage. So
and Post Malone is even more auto-tuned.
Oh yeah, it's a mess.
Oh
It's a mess.
God.
Yeah.
Why do they do that like that vibrato with the auto-tune?
I know. I know.
I don't know.
So
I'm
we'll move
tired.
on, and we're gonna finish up the music of the 2019s, of course, with
Thank Christ.
with a segment that we've been running for a while here, and that is, of course, we pick a song that is just bad, and then we actually speak out the lyrics, and it's pretty funny. But I had, no joke, over 10 songs or more to choose from. And it was actually really hard. I think this was the hardest thing out of all of this. But I just had to go with this. And like I said earlier, the top album, Igor by Tyler, the Creator, I picked a song from there. So how funny is that, right? The worst lyric song is from the top album, one of the top albums of that year. And that song is called Earthquake. EAEEARF. Earthquake.
Welcome to Earth.
Quake. Yeah. By Tyler, the Creator. So this is Earthquake by Tyler, the Creator. For real this time. For real this time. Bitch, I cannot fall short. For real this time. Yeah. For real this time. 'Cause you make my earthquake. He spells it right this time. 'Cause you make my earthquake. Oh, you make my earthquake. Riding around, your love is shaking me up, and it's making my heart break. 'Cause you make my earthquake. Earthquake. Oh, you make my earthquake. Riding around, your love is shaking me up, and it's making my heart break. Don't leave, it's my fault. Don't leave, it's my fault. Don't leave, it's my fault. Yeah. 'Cause when it all comes crashing down, I'll need you. 'Cause you make my earthquake.
Quake.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Oh, you make my earthquake. Riding around, you tell me something, baby, and it's making my heart break. 'Cause you make my earthquake.
Quake.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
you make my earthquake.
Earthquake.
Earthquake, yeah. Riding around, your love is shaking me up. It's making my heart break. We ain't got a ball, D Rose, huh? Don't give a fuck about none, huh? Beamin' like fuck my lungs, huh?
What?
Just might call my lawyer, huh? Plug gone. Set me up. Huh. Bleh. Don't set me up. Fuck that. I'm with Tyler. Yeah. Slime. He ride like the car. Huh. And she wicked. Huh. Yeah. Like, whoa, Vicky. Huh. Yeah.
Vicky.
Like, whoa, Vicky.
Fuck are these people?
Oh my God. Hold up. These diamonds, not Tiffany, huh? Yeah. So in love. So in love. Don't leave. It's my fault. Fault. Don't leave. It's my fault. Don't leave. It's my fault. 'Cause when it all comes crashing down, I'll need you. 'Cause you
My earthquake.
make my earthquake.
Okay. Yep.
I don't want no confrontation.
Jesus.
No. You don't want my conversation. I don't want no conversation. I just need some confirmation on how you feel for real. For real. A. You don't want no complication. No. I don't want no sovereign nation. I don't want no sovereign nation. I don't even know about that, 'cause I'm for real. For real. I said, don't leave. It's my fault. 1. I said, don't leave. It's my fault. 2. Don't leave. It's my fault, girl. 1, 2, 3. Don't. Do. I need. And that concludes our music section for the year
God damn
2019.
Jesus Christ.
It's puzzling.
That was like an Inagata Beta link. That felt like it was 20 minutes long. And it just
I thought you ended like 3 times. And a couple times I thought you were like skipping, like your brain was skipping. You kept repeating the same thing over and over again.
Like, who are these random ass names? He just like Slime, Victoria,
Right. Yeah.
Steve.
Uh-huh.
Well, wasn't there like a buh or a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Bill, don't set me up.
Bih. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Incredible
All
stuff.
right. That was awful.
I just retched a little bit there.
Yeah,
I couldn't
awful.
wait. Honestly, I was so excited about doing music just because I couldn't wait to do the speak the lyrics. It's so much fun.
What the fuck? I don't even know what that song's about. I don't know what's going on.
It's not about anything.
Like, even when it's written down, you don't know.
Right. No, you don't. Yeah.
It's best not to think about it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
it certainly
let's
isn't
move
deep.
on. Let's
Yeah.
just move on.
Okay.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you so much for the music section.
Well done, Nick. Well done.
Well done.
Thanks.
All right, everyone. We will now move on to the next section of the podcast, with the TV shows of the year 2019.
All right. A small selection of TV shows that debuted in the year 2019. We'll start with a good one, The Boys.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, we all
Oh yeah.
really like The Boys.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know any who's your favorite superhero out of all of them, or just favorite character?
Favorite character?
Yeah. Or the
Frenchie is my favorite character.
Frenchie is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Homelander's. I think Homelander just
Really?
makes the show. He's just
for sure.
such a phenomenal actor, and the way that he's able. He's not like, I don't think he's good. I don't want him to win. I don't want him to succeed.
Yeah, he's fucking nuts.
But he is like, honestly, who else would you have? He's a perfect villain, perfect, and he's
So
just he's
true.
amazing.
Yeah, I
So
like him.
I think he is the boys,
Right.
in a lot of ways, and I think he's balanced by Butcher, who's also unhinged.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Easily my most favorite thing that guy's ever been in, and that includes Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I think this is his best role.
Yeah.
For sure.
Huey's awesome. Every person, just your average every guy. Who and his dad. Oh, so sad this past season.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, but Frenchie's awesome. Was it Kamiko? She's awesome. But even Starlight, I like her character as well. I like literally everyone's perfectly cast. The tone of that show is amazing. The writing on that show, the jokes, the pacing, everything is fantastic. Sometimes they go off what I'm kind of like, I'm not really digging this, but they always find a way to bring it around,
right,
and make things right. And I'm gonna be so sad when it's over, because it's the best superhero thing I've ever seen. And that includes everything I've ever seen from Marvel.
For sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not. I mean, you guys know me, and anyone that knows me, I'm not really big into the superhero stuff. And when I watch The Boys, I love the show because they're killing superheroes. It just for me, for superheroes, it's always been they have a weakness, right? And I just thought that was stupid.
Right.
Like, they shouldn't have weaknesses. They're superheroes. Like, I get it. You won't have a story if you don't have that. But to me, it's just like, what? How stupid is that? Like, anyway.
He can fly, but he can't swim.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So for me, it was like, I watching The Boys, and I just loved the fact that the superheroes weren't the good guys. They were actually, it was more realistic in the sense of, if there were superheroes, how would that actually look in real life, and how would it go down? And I love that, man. It's like the Inglorious Bastards of superheroes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree, 100%. That's what I loved about it.
Yeah,
it's
I
great.
don't really have anything to add to that because you guys really hit the nail on the head.
Right.
I will say my favorite is Black Noir.
Oh, okay.
I love that guy, especially in those early seasons. He just doesn't talk, and Homelander's like, I'm disappointed in all of you except you, Black Noir. You're great, and he's just sitting there perfectly stoic. And there's that.
Oh my gosh, the Deep.
The Deep. No. The Deep is hilarious. Speaking of the Deep, when Butcher and the boys run that the boat through the whale and kill it.
Yeah.
Black Noir like holds his hand up to his chest like he's heartbroken. He's just like, oh. Or when they learned that the V compound was being used on babies and children.
Yeah.
It shows Black Noir and he's crying. He's not making a sound, but he's like, you can tell he's sobbing.
Gee.
And then there's that other scene at the party, and the guy's playing the piano, and Black Noir just stares at him, and he's like, oh, okay. And Black Noir sits down at the piano and just plays this beautiful classical music. Like, what? Who is this guy? Like, it just cracks me up. Oh man, the Deep is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh god, with the dolphin that he tries to save.
Yeah,
he hits the brakes and it flies through the windshield and gets run over by a truck while Spice Girls are playing. There's so much ridiculous, like, and also disgusting and disturbing stuff in that show. It's great.
When Homelander makes him eat the octopus, and it was like somebody that he'd been like sleeping with, and he's got to eat. That is such a horrific. It's like, no, please, and he's got to do it, and like, he's such a good actor. Everyone in that scene is fantastic, and it's off-putting and it's eerie. It's just Soldier Boy. What was the name of the guy that came in? Like,
Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've ever liked him in.
Yeah, he's from Supernatural.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that, as far as I'm aware, there's writers or producers from Supernatural that do The Boys.
Oh, okay.
So it's interesting. They've what they can do with a higher production value. They actually have some talent. Yeah. But if you've ever watched Supernatural, I mean, it's just not good.
I watched one episode of Supernatural. It was the series finale.
Oh, really?
I think even the people all know that. No, never mind. Yeah. As I say, I did the same thing with Lost.
Right.
And
well, you were lost, I'm sure.
Yeah, but everyone was lost, so it didn't matter.
That's so true. Yeah. Yeah, very true.
All right. Yeah.
I watched that. I watched the last episode of Lost while I was tripping on acid.
I watched season 2 of Walking Dead on acid.
Oh yeah, like the most like uneventful season.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, The Boys, awesome show.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure we can go on, but
we definitely can.
We must move on. The next show that debuted in 2019, What We Do in the Shadows. You guys watch this?
I've heard that's good, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, it has a great rating. It's Hulu.
Yeah, I think it's about vampires. It's just not.
Yeah, it's about 4 vampires who have lived together on Staten Island for over a century. And I guess, and it's shot like documentary style.
Oh, cool.
Like The Office or Parks and Rec, like that kind of thing.
I believe I think it's a remake of an older show.
It may be. I'm not sure, but it looks pretty cool. I guess it's kind of like a dark comedy, fantasy horror show, so might be worth checking out. Next up, I have The Witcher, based on the video game, based on the book series with
couldn't get into it.
Henry Cavill. Yeah, I never watched it. I heard it was good though, but you couldn't get into it, Nick?
I watched it.
Yeah,
I watched every season.
Oh, okay. Right. Any good?
The first season starts off really slow. It doesn't really pick up till like the last 3, 4. I'm not sure how many episodes are in a season. Maybe 10. If there are, it picks up from like 6 or 7 to 10. That's when it starts getting better. The second season is much better than the first. But then right at the end of the second season, you find out that Henry Cavill's leaving. So then the third season comes out, and it's just kind of like it was okay. You know, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like the second season. And it could have been a lot better, but the writers of the show or the producers would try like storylines and do things that aren't cohesive to The Witcher, don't have anything to do with The Witcher, and would probably reflect badly on that brand, The Witcher itself, and the story, and
the community would hate it.
The whole thing, everybody would hate it. And Henry Cavill is a super nerd, and he's read all the books, and he loves that game, and he was adamant about maintaining accuracy, and they refused to go that route. And he's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I will not portray this character like that." And they're like, "Well, then we'll just get someone else." And
did they?
They did, but I don't know if it's even going to happen.
Right.
It's Chris Hemsworth's brother, Liam Hemsworth, the guy from the Hunger Games, the love interest.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? Gale.
Gale. Okay. Yeah. So Geralt of Riviera, Geraldo Riviera, is no longer around, and it's somebody new, a new Witcher that has nothing to do with that original story.
You said Geraldo Rivera?
Yeah.
Geralt of Rivera.
Geraldo Rivera.
It's the Witcher, dude.
The Witcher.
So wait, how did they do that at the beginning? Did they say like get Geralt went back to his home planet or something off screen?
Right, yeah, how are they gonna explain this?
When are they gonna get to the fireworks factory? Oh, yeah.
There was no Geralt. Never.
No, I think he dies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. It's not part of the Witcher story. I don't know if they will actually come out with the 4th season, but the 3rd one, it was okay. Just everyone knew it was going to suck because at the end it was like, well, what the hell are we going to do? How are we going to tie this up? And it's kind of left on a cliffhanger, and it's unsure. But more than likely, who knows? Maybe they might say Geralt went back to his home planet. That would be funny. I'll take that.
That would be funny. Well, all right, moving on here. We have The Mandalorian.
Oh, that debuted in 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
wow,
sense.
I didn't realize that.
I watched like the first 5 episodes. I thought it was pretty cool. It's like a space western.
Yep. Yeah.
But for some reason I just stopped watching it.
It's not okay. Nick, you watched the first season, right? And
I watched the first season and I really liked it. But I watched the first episode of the second season. I just never continued. But I really liked it.
Yeah. It was the best thing that Disney and Star Wars had ever done, and it was directed and done by Jon Favreau, who did like Marvel stuff,
Right.
who did The Lion King.
Not a big fan of Jon Favreau, to be honest with you.
Not after
He's
The
got
Lion
some good
King.
stuff. He's got some bad stuff. A lot of
Right.
bad stuff. I think there are a few things he's done that have been really good. Mandalorian being one of them. Excuse
That
me.
I could agree with.
The first 3 Iron Man movies were him, right?
Yeah.
Or at least the very first one was, so that's good. That movie he did called Chef was really good.
I saw that movie and I
Swingers.
didn't really care for it. Yeah.
He also did Swingers. Anyway, The Mandalorian, yeah, I remember like I was, really interested. I watched it and I was like, okay, this isn't bad. And then I basically just kind of got sucked in a way. It wasn't like I was like, oh, this is amazing sort of deal. It was well, I guess I'll watch the next. I'm so far in. Let's just see how far this goes. I'll do that. And it got better as the season went on. And I thought season 1 ended. I was like, okay, I'll definitely watch the second season when it comes out. Hopefully it picks up though. And the second season absolutely picked up. Oh my! And it was it started off kind of similar as the first episode of the first season, but by the end of the second season, it has one of the best moments in Star Wars history. I don't want to give away too much, but people that know it, it's when Luke Skywalker shows up.
Right.
And this is post Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker. And he comes in like a fucking badass and just fucks everyone up. And that music plays, and it's just, I know it's fan servicey, but my God,
Yeah.
my hair stood up. It was so awesome to see.
Right. Well, if you
yeah.
do it well, fan service
Yeah.
here is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Gus Fring is the bad guy. He's fantastic. He's got the
Oh,
dark
he's
saber.
awesome.
Yeah. So it's a really good show. The third season wasn't not nearly as good. It fell off. I'm kind of disappointed to say the least, and it had some moments, but on the whole, I did not care for it as much as I did the first 2. And the funny thing is that they came out with this show called something about Boba Fett. I can't remember exactly.
The Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, where half that that series, that little mini series they came up with, half it was basically Mandalorian season 2.5. Like
Right.
3 of the episodes had nothing to do with Boba Fett. It was about Mando. It didn't make any sense.
Right.
So anyway, Mandalorian I thought was one of the better things, if not the best thing Disney did with Star Wars. Introducing Grogu, Baby Yoda, was unbelievable. I mean, that's going to sell so much merch. It's unbelievable. It already has.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, we own a lot of it actually.
Well, there you go.
A lot of merchandise for
Keeping Disney afloat.
for Grogu. Yeah.
All right, these next few, probably plow through them. We have the Twilight Zone reboot with
I never saw
Jordan Peele. Neither have I, but it's got to be at least halfway decent.
It's got to
right?
be pretty
It's
good, right?
Twilight Zone stuff.
Yeah.
Even if they rehash, the old Twilight Zone episodes.
Is it still in black and white though? Did they do that?
No, it's not in black and white.
Might not have the same feeling then.
No, probably not.
Twilight Zone had, it gives you, because of the old style and the black and white. It always, watching Twilight Zone always made it feel like it had some sort of, there's that aesthetic to it that's really nice. That it's like, to have a remake, I just don't think you can revive that aesthetic.
I mean, it's probably just gonna be mostly like Black Mirror, I would assume.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, probably.
But so yeah, the Twilight Zone. Next up, we have Russian Doll. You guys watch that?
No, I never
Netflix
did.
Show.
No,
pretty good. I watched the first season. It's basically Groundhog Day. Like this lady keeps going through the same time loop and dying and redoing it, and I don't know, shit gets weird, and I'm pretty sure at the end of I don't want to spoil anything, but it's interesting, definitely. So I would recommend it, and I've been meaning to watch the second season because I think that's all there is. Because Netflix likes to cancel things after a couple of seasons, even if it's good.
Right.
So yeah, I recommend Russian Doll. Next up, we have Euphoria. You guys hear this?
No,
it's like a coming of age teen drama show with like
Zendaya or something. Yeah,
there's like a lot of drugs and sex involved, and
yeah, I've heard about it. I think it's won a lot of awards, but
yeah.
I don't know. I've never watched it.
I never even heard of it.
It just looks really good, as a good rating. So
right.
All right, the last one. This is a big one, and I love this. series, Chernobyl.
Oh God.
I couldn't get into it.
Really? Holy shit,
Yeah,
man.
I know, Brad. I know.
I was all about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should give it another try. I've been thinking about giving it another try,
Oh, it's so
but
good.
I for some reason I just couldn't get into
I
it.
mean, Jesus, the first episode when it melts down and
Yeah.
it's just nuts. The guys like looking into it and their faces turn red and they start bleeding all over and
Yeah.
just horrific. And they try to cover it up and
Yeah. Yep.
oh man.
The very first episode, I love the fact, and I think they mentioned this in like the after you watch the episode, you do like behind the scenes of said episode. The directors were talking about how they wanted to start off. Everyone knows that Chernobyl has a meltdown, so we're not going to go to the lead up to the meltdown. The meltdown's not going to be like mid-season. No, the meltdown's going to happen in the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes, or something like that.
Yeah.
First 10 minutes of the show. We already know that's coming, so they
Right.
make that happen, and this is the fallout from said meltdown and everything that happened. It is fascinating to see. Every actor, actress, everybody's fantastic. The set designs, everything, the horrific, that nuclear ash that the kids and people living in Chernobyl think is snow.
Everyone's like, oh yay, snow.
Yeah, and they're playing
It's
around.
like, oh,
It actually
no.
happened, and the people having to go into that radioactive, like in the water with those suits to, I think, turn off the water or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that they know that they're probably going to die, and that they're going to get very sick. All the men digging that hole to try and get to the base to try and prevent the complete nuclear meltdown, to try and and so that they need fans, but they can't put fans to cool them down because it's so hot in those, like in the ground. They can't use it though to risk spreading even more, so they have to do it all without fans in order to compromise. They all get naked, and there's like 150, 200 naked Russians just mining, digging, doing 24-hour shifts. Just 12 hours on, 12 hours off, or whatever it may be, or 6 hours off, and then just going at it again. All the efforts that went into it, and all the cover-ups and everything and in between, and to talk of why it happened and how it happened. Oh, just fantastic. I love that series. I've seen it a couple times. Can't recommend it
Really?
enough. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, guys, I think it's been a while, right? I gave the first episode a try and it just didn't stick with me. Maybe I should give it another go.
Yeah, you should definitely revisit it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I need to revisit it because I only watched it once.
It's so good. So good.
Yes, it's quite excellent. All right, that's all I have for TV shows that debuted. I'm going to quickly go over the top 10 over-the-air regular degular network television for 2019. Starting at number 10, Manifest.
Not
Number
good.
9,
Not
The
good.
Good Doctor.
Not good.
Number 8. Number 8, FBI.
Okay.
It's just called FBI. Number 7, Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
Number 6, This Is Us.
Yep.
Number 5, Young Sheldon.
Oh my God.
Number 4, Thursday Night Football.
There we go.
Number 3, NCIS.
Yep.
Number 2, The Big Bang Theory. Still going.
Why?
And number 1, good old Sunday Night Football.
There you go. There's America right there. Sunday Night Football and The Big Bang Theory.
Remember when 60 Minutes used to rule?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I miss 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
All right, now worst TV shows. Just have a couple here because I never watched any of these. Almost Family, which might be a good show, but the premise is ridiculous because this girl is a daughter of a fertility doctor who apparently has like donated his own sperm and impregnated like tons and tons of women. So this girl has like, she comes across 2 of her half sisters.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an only child, and that discovers her dad fathered many other children as a sperm donor. So suddenly she has 2 sisters, and then hijinks ensue. So,
Right.
whatever. So moving on.
Yikes.
This one's kind of baffling. It's called The Island. I-Land. The Island. And
Okay.
It seems to be a ripoff of Lost. Like 10 people wake up on this island and they have no memory of how they got there. And according to my research, they like immediately like strip down and go swimming for some reason, and one of them gets eaten by a shark almost immediately. So what it is, it's basically an episode of Black Mirror that's stretched over one season.
Oh, man.
I guess in the third episode, the one girl learns that it's all a simulation. Like, she's actually in prison, and this is like a simulation to see how these people react, like if they can be like rehabilitated, basically.
Huh.
So you learn that in the third episode. So I don't know where they go from there. But I guess it's like poorly acted, poorly written, just super. Like I said, it's like it could be just done as a single Black Mirror episode, probably way better.
Sure.
So
probably.
I mean, there's nothing more I could say about it.
There probably is a Black Mirror episode that does it better already.
Right.
I read on Reddit like an actual quote from two characters. I guess like the woman says to the guy, "Oh, it's survival of the fittest," and then he says, "Oh, but you're very fit," and then they start making out. According to this Reddit post. So yeah, it just seems like really fucking stupid. and I'm not gonna watch it. I don't even want to do any more research on it.
Nope, no worries. I understand.
And then one final thing, it's a specific season of a specific show. It is Game of Thrones season 8. Last season.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Like I just had to add that. Like,
I get
what
it.
a plummet.
Oh yeah.
It was like
bad.
The biggest cultural phenomenon.
Right.
And then just all basically erased in one season.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
nobody really talks about it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
All anyone talks about is how bad that last season was.
Yep.
Just rushed and Daenerys going crazy out of nowhere.
And the thing is, if you watch the first 4 seasons, it's pretty good. It's really good.
Yeah. We already talked about it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was an honorable mention or dishonorable mention.
Right.
Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
All
right.
I don't really want to talk about it. So with that, you got something to say, Nick?
I was just saying, it's just it's hard to watch the show knowing how it ends.
Yeah.
Even knowing it's good, and it is good, but knowing how it ends keeps me not wanting to watch because I want a good conclusion at all of, you know what I mean? So it's like, fuck this. I don't even want to bother.
I remember reading on Reddit, like someone leaked like the whole like ending. And I read it. I'm like, no, this is fake. And then watching it and it all happens. I'm like, oh no,
yikes.
They were right.
I remember I found something myself that someone had leaked online. I read it and it was season 7. And even with that, I was like, there's no way. And yeah, no way. Absolutely.
Yeah. I saw this thing real quick before we move on. I know you guys don't want to talk about Game of Thrones anymore.
Oh, wait, opening up old wounds here.
But I saw this theory online where Bran was actually the one who orchestrated everything by using his time traveling abilities to make himself be in the throne.
That's kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah, so like all of the major events that happened were actually because Bran made it happen.
Why do you think he came all that way?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, he did fuck up Hodor, so
right.
It would make sense that perhaps he did do that, but
so it's just a theory and it's an interesting one because it's just like it actually makes sense and it makes the ending go, yeah, okay, cool. But it's not.
Yeah, that didn't
it's
happen.
Not real.
I think that's people coping.
Exactly. And that's what I use. So we can move on.
That's what I use.
Let's move on. That's all I got for TV shows, fellas.
That's all? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Well done, everybody. All right. Well, we will now get to our last section of the podcast. One of my favorites, with the video games of 2019. And for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the PC, the Resident Evil 2 remake came out on January 25th. I played this a little bit. They had it for free on Game Pass. You could install it.
Right.
I got to a certain point when Mr. X, or whatever the hell the guy in the fedora and the trench coat shows up, and at that point, it was over for me. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have any bullets. I didn't board up any of the windows. It was overrun with zombies and crawler things that crawl on the ceiling, and not even a grenade kills these fucking things. Nothing kills the X fellow or whatever. And yeah, that was I was like, this is a tough. I've done this completely wrong. I'd have to like go back. I remember I was so fucking bad at the game. The very first boss, I had no herbs, and I was one hit away from death. I had to no hit to pass the first boss. So the first boss,
jeez,
not good at that game. And I'd see zombies and I'd start shooting them, shooting, not dead, shoot. All right, they're dead.
Right.
Don't realize that ammo like consumption, want to keep that to a minimum, and everything else. So yeah, if you guys ever play those games, no, yes.
Yeah,
I play.
Go ahead. I played it. I think I played it all the way through. I can't remember because I plowed through that one, and then I did Resident Evil 7 and then 8. So I don't know if I got all the way through it, but I did play it quite a bit, and it was good. I don't know what else to say. It was like a well done remake.
Yeah, no, right. I thought it was good too. I'm really bad at it.
Yeah. No, the Resident Evil games are great. The one game that I haven't played too, but I don't know. But I've played one that was on GameCube years ago.
Oh, so, I think that was the 4. Resident Evil 4.
Evil 4, yeah. Yep. I loved it. It was great. Yeah. Very creepy, disturbing, fun gameplay. Yeah, it's good games.
All right. For the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the PC, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice came out on March 22nd. I own this game. It is very tough. I keep meaning to get back into it, but it's just one of those things. I know, like, it's time consuming, and it's probably gonna draw me in. And I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was well done. I love the pairing combat. I thought that was really good. Tough game though. It's not forgiving. But those things, once you pass something that's unforgiving, like once this giant stopped, like jumping.
Is it like a Souls game?
Oh yeah,
it is. Game.
Yeah,
it's the same company.
Oh, okay. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, it's like you're like a ninja or something, or a samurai.
Samurai.
Yeah.
Slightly different mechanics, but at its heart, it is a Souls game. So very difficult. Got to get good.
Right.
It had that cool that hook shot or grappling hook.
It's a grappling hook you can swing around on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. The giant snake follows you through the mountains.
Oh my god, I remember that.
You got to escape that.
Fucking awesome.
That fucking guy comes out with riding on the horse, and you have to beat him, and you're on foot. And it took me forever. And once I finally killed him, I was so happy.
What was that?
God. That was like the first big
there
boss.
Was that gorilla boss. Remember that one?
I didn't make it very far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you cut its head off and you think it's dead, but then it comes back to life and it's a whole nother boss you have to fight.
Oh my god. Did you beat that game?
I never... Shit. I'm trying to remember. I got past like what was supposed to be the final boss, but then there was like another section after that and I never completely finished it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, great game.
Oh yeah.
A lot of frustration.
Nick, did you ever play it?
No. I've seen a bunch of stuff about it. Reviews. I've seen people play it, streamers and all that. And I mean, it looks great. Looks like a lot of fun. I do like the Souls games. Yeah, I haven't played it, but I would definitely like it if I did, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Next game I'm going to mention here for the PC, on July 2nd, Final Fantasy XIV, the expansion Shadowbringers came out. This expansion won all sorts of awards. It was considered one of the best expansions for like any video game. Story, gameplay, everything, just really, really cool. I remember post Shadowbringers for me was my favorite leading into Endwalker. But yeah, that whole thing, I remember playing and getting to Shadowbringers and just binging the whole thing. I literally, I got through, what's the one before that? Oh, I can't think of it. Stormblood. I got through
Yeah.
Stormblood about halfway through and then took a break, then finished up Stormblood, did all the quests between Stormblood and Shadowbringers. Once I got to Shadowbringers, I figured I'd take a break, but nope, got sucked in and ended up just playing the entire thing. It's such a really, really good game. I've really enjoyed it, and one of the best Final Fantasy 14, one of the best Final Fantasy stories I've ever been,
But that's
lucky enough to
saying
play.
so much,
Yeah.
which makes me really want to play it because I'm at the end of Stormblood, I believe, or near the
Yeah,
end.
you're very close. I think you're about 80% through.
Right. So I'm almost to Shadowbringers, and all of this hype about it. It definitely makes me want to play it again. It's just I have so many other things I need to do before I can get into it. So
Yeah, if you like MMOs and you're a fan of that and you haven't played Final Fantasy 14, I highly recommend it. Once you get to Shadowbringers, it just only gets better from there. All right, I know Brad hasn't played it, so I'm just gonna move on. For the PC, Disco Elysium came out on October 15th. That game won all sorts of awards. It's basically a narrative-driven game, where it's like a point and click, and you gather clues, and certain conversation opens up certain thoughts, and you have to try and work your way through a murder mystery type deal, I think.
Okay.
Supposed to be a really good game. I played it a little bit. I didn't get quite too far into it. Maybe I'll revisit someday. But have you ever played it, Brad? Gonna go with the no. All right. For the Xbox One, I think Brad fell asleep. And PlayStation 4, Kingdom Hearts 3 was released on January 29th. You have a mixed feelings about Kingdom Hearts. It's got Final Fantasy stuff, so it's I'm a sucker for that sort of thing. So it kind of draws me to that. But it's got Disney, which is the worst part about Kingdom Hearts. Also, it's kind of kiddie-ish. It feels like a little kids type game,
Right.
And that kind of draws it away from me. I don't feel like playing a child's game. I don't give a fuck about visiting Winnie the Pooh. Give a fuck.
Right. Right.
I don't know. I just don't give a shit.
Right.
So it's hard for me to get into it, really.
Right.
The story is convoluted. It's silly. I've looked into it. It is silly. It's shadows of people or actual people in this way, but they're without heart, and they need to get heart, and you have a heart and two hearts combined to make one shadow, and it's just ridiculous, over the top anime storyline that makes no fucking sense. And it's definitely a moneymaker. There's a huge Kingdom Hearts fandom. I've always wanted to do like a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts and like record my reactions and put it online and watch the people just come after me because they will. Because I'm just gonna make fun of it the entire time.
Yeah, people love that game.
Yeah,
and you're also gonna be like wanting to walk away from it because you hate it so much.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard, dude. It's gonna be a lot.
One of the really stupid things that they did with Kingdom Hearts is that to continue the main story canon, so you know what's going on in because Kingdom Hearts 1 came out, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and it was a completely new person. You're like, where the fuck did this guy come from? Who's this? Where's Sora? Why am I watching Roxas? Who the fuck is Roxas? What the hell's going on here? But you have to play like the DS version of Kingdom Hearts 1.5, Hearts Galore or whatever the fuck they call their games, and you get the main story that leads up to Kingdom Hearts 2. Had you not played that for your DS, you would never know. And then between Kingdom Hearts 2, there's Kingdom Hearts like Rebirth or not Rebirth, or Re something or other, and there's like a card mini game that you have to play that has a main story. There's a bunch of stupid shit between. Like one was only on the PSP. You could only play it on the PSP, and it had main story. And like, what the hell am I gonna? So Kingdom Hearts 3 rolls around, and nobody has any clue what's going on, because they decided to do that. It's really stupid way of doing things.
That's really bad.
The intent is to get people to buy everything,
right?
And no one's buying. I'm not buying a PSP to play Kingdom Hearts 2.7. I don't give a fuck. No way. So
yeah, fair enough.
Hard pass. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, the combat's kind of boring from what I've seen. It's not very good. It's kind of niche when you have Donald Duck and Goofy on your team, and one's kind of like Goofy's kind of like the tank in a way, and Donald heals you. but it's AI, so they're kind of stupid. So
Right.
Donald doesn't heal you. Heal me, Donald. Heal me. He doesn't, you die. But yeah, I'm just move on. Kingdom Hearts. One day I'll play that series and piss a lot of people off. All right. Another game that came out for the Xbox One. I'm just moving on because you guys have played the Xbox One, PlayStation, or not? No, Xbox One, PC, and then Nintendo Switch on February 1st, and for the PlayStation 4 on July 23rd. The game Wargroove was released.
Aha.
Wargroove.
This game's a lot of fun. It can get on your nerves. It got on my nerves. Last time we played a session, I felt bad.
Played the second.
I thought about it like for days after. I was like, I shouldn't have gotten mad like that. But yeah, I felt bad. It sucked because I had everything planned out, and the whole thing got taken under the rug under my feet, and I lost everything. I probably could have hung on for longer, but I was just so depleted and I was over it.
Yeah.
But Wargroove, you want to explain to Brad what that is because he hasn't played it.
So, have you ever played an RTS game, Brad? Real-time strategy. Like a Red Alert or Age of Empires or
both.
Halo Wars or StarCraft or so you've played those. Wargroove is an RTS. But it's more like turn-based strategy, but in an RTS style, like over the head view kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks like a Super Nintendo game or something.
Yeah, it's got those classic looking graphics. And basically, you'll just you have generals and they each have different abilities basically, and that would determine your faction is what general you pick. And so they all do different things. Like some are better with ranged, some are better with close combat, stuff like that. And then you just build an army and you capture little areas in your like little towns and stuff, buildings. And then each time it's your turn, you'll gather more gold per thing you have captured. And the more gold you have, the more guys that you can buy every time it's your turn.
Yeah, fair enough.
And and then you just you can battle against your friends, and you can battle in the campaign. There's a campaign in the game.
I'm on the actual website. Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
capture towns to gain funds, expand your army, wage war on the enemy.
Yeah, it's fun.
It looks neat. Yeah, I like the sprite-based graphics.
Yep.
I think it's cross-play. You could probably play a game with us.
That'd be fun. The soundtrack is really great.
The music's good too.
The gameplay is so much fun, and it when you feel like you've got it all figured out in that game, it will take shit away from you like immediately. Your opponent will catch you off guard, and
I blame Baller.
The power, the balance of power swings so much all the time in that game.
Yeah.
Because it's a turn-based, right? So you really gotta be like, okay, I need this guy here, I need this guy here, and if you don't do that, then as you know, things go to shit. So yeah, I blame Baller. Yeah, well, I mean, Baller. I mean, he. I don't know.
He did well. Yeah. He stood back. He did enough fighting and enough non-fighting and building up his own forces. And then when the time was right, and I built too many big things and not enough small forces. I could have done a lot more than I did, but it is what it is. All right, move on to another game here that came out.
Oh, by the way, Wargroove is cross-play between PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 players.
Awesome. Well, if you're ever interested, Brad,
it looks interesting.
Wargroove 2 is what we're playing currently.
Oh, shit. Let me double check if that's cross-platform or not.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It's just not probably free for you.
Well,
That is what it is. All right. Move on. Another game that came out in 2019. Was not expecting it to be as big as it was. Still going strong today. For the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, the PC, on February 4th, 2019, the game Apex Legends was released.
Oh, yeah. I love this game.
I'm not good at that game. I can hide, but I can't shoot.
I remember when this game came out, around that time. Wait, what was the month? Did you say?
February 4th.
Right. So that I think it was that day or like that week that it came out, like a couple days after, we had an insane like Arctic chill,
Oh, right.
where
Yeah.
like businesses were closed, no one was out on the roads. Like it was so cold that yeah, they urged people to just like stay home.
Right.
But my job didn't give a flying fuck, and they wanted me there. And I remember like I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna go, you know, because it was a drive. If anything happened and I'm outside for too long, frostbite, I'm just not gonna risk. It's not worth the risk. I'll
Right.
lose out on some money. I don't care. It's I'd rather stay in the warm apartment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fuck that. And I remember calling my boss and telling him, and this has to do with Apex because I played Apex all day. Like because I called my boss and I was like, I'm not coming in. It's Arctic chill out. It's below freezing. I'm not gonna do. I'm
Below
just not coming
zero.
in. Yeah, yeah, it's below zero. And I remember he goes, this is his answer. He goes, well, it's 73 in here. It's 73 in here.
I
Is what
bet
he
he
said
was
to me.
waiting for to use that line all day.
All
He's like,
day.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's 73 in here. I'm like, okay.
Probably used it on
right.
multiple
Right.
employees.
73 in here. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's negative 50
Right.
out there, which is where I need to go through to get to your,
Right, it's
paradise
like,
of 73.
Yeah, right. I literally just said to him, okay.
Yeah, but if I go outside, I will die in 2
Right.
minutes.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, I'm not coming in. I don't. Yeah. So then I just hung up and I was like, asshole.
It's
Pretty much.
73.
Yeah. And then I just put on Apex and played all day and I forgot all about it because it was such a fun game. And there were seasons down the road, a few seasons later. I ended up playing that game like every day and I got really, really good at it. I was like top like gold 1 at some point and
nice.
making my way on to playing a lot of like ranked matches and stuff. Oh, that wasn't too bad. It was fun.
Nice. Brad, you ever play Apex?
I have not.
All right. First person shooter.
Yeah,
like
I looked
Fortnite,
it up,
where you
that's
have
what
to,
it looks like.
yeah, all that stuff. All right, another game that came out 2019, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the PC. On March 8th, Devil May Cry 5 was released. Devil May Cry 5. Those are fun beat 'em up games. Those are a lot crazy combos, and Bayonetta's a lot like that too. I do think I think they're good games. You just have to be in the right mood maybe sometimes to play it, but
Right.
it's just they're crazy over the top. If you can get behind that and understand that's what it's supposed to be, it makes it all better. So
Yeah.
if you're going into that game thinking it's going to be this serious, serious story, everything, no, it's over the top. It's intended.
Yeah, it's
to be.
just it's a hack and slash.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Fucking kill
with
everything.
combo points and everything in between.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
It's
played I think I played the second one for I don't even know, Dreamcast or maybe PlayStation 2.
Yeah, it was on both. Yeah.
I remember it being pretty fun, so
Yeah.
I assume
I
one's
loved
pretty
the
fun.
first game. I thought that was fantastic. I actually missed part of the open house for the new start of the new school year. I was on the student council. I was supposed to be there, but I was really, really late, and I showed up in the
Jeez,
gym,
man.
and everyone looked at me because I was playing Devil May Cry. Yeah, that's why.
But you did not admit it at the time.
No, I didn't at all. No. Right. Another game that came out in 2019 for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC on April 23rd, Mortal Kombat 11 was released. Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
It's the same as the other ones. They're good. They're good fighting games. It just, Esteban would probably have more to say about it. He loves these games. He knows like this. He'll play like the story and the whole thing. So,
Right.
This might be the one where there's like dead versions of everyone, like zombie, like Liu Kang zombies. Oh, well, Scorpion is kind of like I don't know, but something like that. Yeah.
I don't care for those new ones. I never played them, but I've watched people play them. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, is that the one where the fatalities are like they go X-ray vision and you see all the bones breaking?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. It's just
It's over the top.
It's crazy. It's crazy to say for a Mortal Kombat game, but yeah, it's over the top. Like,
get like the Joker in it or something. Or no, that's
Terminator's in there, RoboCop's
Terminator.
in there. Who knows?
I think the Ninja Turtles.
Jason,
or maybe
Jason was one of them.
Jason, Freddy Krueger. I don't know. Anyway, another game that got released in 2019 for the Nintendo Switch on June 28th, Super Mario Maker 2. These are fun games. If you like that sort of thing, you can build your own Mario level, and people make the craziest Mario levels.
Yes,
this would be a game Nick could never play. He sucks at Mario. He's not good.
I'm terrible.
Just don't even need to. Just give him Super Mario. Just give him the first game.
Well,
here's that.
Here's the thing: is that if you gave me the Super Mario Maker, I would just make no jumps. It would just be a flat land all the way to the flag, and then that's the level I can beat. I am not good with those games for sure.
Did you ever
I remember I had the first one emulated on my PC. I forget what the emulator was. I think it was a Wii U emulator, and I had the first Mario Maker.
Right.
And yeah, dude, I loved building levels.
Oh yeah,
I've seen one of yours. Yeah, it
I was
takes
gonna
you directly to death.
Yes, yeah. You go through the door, and it's like a conveyor belt into like a spinning buzzsaw, and you can't get out. Like, you just have to accept your death,
right?
Otherwise, or you just keep running to the right the whole time until you get tired, and just like, okay, fine, and then you just die. Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the levels they make on that, it's insanity, like how complex they can make levels.
I like that you have to actually complete your own level before you can upload it. It just makes sense.
Oh, that's a cool concept.
Otherwise, people be uploading just shit. There's no way you can ever do any of this. Yeah, but you actually have to be able to complete it. So, yeah. All right, a few more games left here. For the PC, on August 26th, World of Warcraft Classic was released.
Yep.
Yep. So I'm not. Nick, go ahead.
Yep.
I took a whole week of vacation when this game came out. I had planned for it since I heard of it. I saved up all the time I could, and I took a whole week off of vacation, literally 7 days. And it was such a great time. And an awesome vacation, man. I easily gained 10 pounds that vacation in one fucking week because I did not move from that chair. I remember telling Des, I was like, look, you're probably not going to see much of me in the next week. And it was true. I mean, it was if she wanted to hang out, she'd have to come into the same room, and just kind of watch me play or something, because I was dedicated.
Unplug the computer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, but I mean, she's great, man. She understands how important it is to me. So she she was supportive of that in that sense. But man, it was what a ride. It definitely kind of brought it all back to me again, and I got to play the game for how it was back then. And I loved it, man. It was great. And I still not recently, but I still play the game. So
yeah. Yep. All right. Got a few more games left here for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the PC. The Dark Pictures anthology Man of Medan was released on August 30th. These are really fun games where you and a friend will play the Dark Pictures anthology. It's a series of games, but you and a friend play if you want to, and you make decisions, and either they end in tragedy or they are okay, or so in between. Decisions you make and affect the outcome of individual characters and the story as a whole. They're usually terror or horror games where or suspense as well, where you have to kind of make your way through jump scares galore, and I don't know, you have to A at a certain time, X at certain, depending what your controller you're using, all that stuff. So yeah, if you fail those tests, something bad happens to you.
It's a great time.
Yeah, the Quarry was a recent game that was like that too.
It's Supermassive Games or the developer. Yeah, they do those. It's like a interactive movie basically.
Yep. Yes,
and you have your the prompt comes up as like, do you say this or say that, or do you do this or do that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we played that a bunch. It was fun. Yeah.
They would often pick the say nothing.
Yeah, I love that option.
just stare blankly at him.
Please help me, help me.
I would watch
Say nothing.
like some. I would watch like some Twitch streamers play games like this, like one of the supermassive games. It's like it's just so hilarious. It's like, what do you say? And then you get like so much time to decide what to say, but during that time they just look blankly and they look around like yeah.
Oh man, there was one game where we did where it's like in that Manamadan, like you're supposed to go on like this ghost ship or whatever, but we never even ended up getting there. Like our boat got like like hijacked by these criminals, and they like tied us up and stuff. And I remember Baller was playing one of the characters, and he escaped out the window and got on and got on a jet ski and took off.
Just abandoned you guys.
But they ended up shooting him, and he died in the water.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I watched whatever game that was. I watched these Twitch streamers do that exact thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Manamadan. Yep, that's what it is. It's really fun. All right, 3 games left here. On September 10th for the Xbox One and PC, Gears 5 was released. Gears 5. Baller Esteban and I played this together. Oddly enough, we played the entire campaign together, all the way through. It was fun. It was a good time. I don't really remember much about it. It's the same fucking type of story. It's Gears,
Right.
Rinse, wash, and repeat. On October 25th, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, the game The Outer Worlds was released.
Oh yeah, love this game.
I played a little bit of it. I liked it. I didn't get too far into it. Nick did. I know that.
Yeah.
Brad, did you ever play it?
I don't believe so.
Okay, go ahead, Nick. We got one more game left.
I loved Outer Worlds. It's a game and I loved it because I'm so into games where you can just do whatever you want, and Outer Worlds is one of those games. Like, I remember just like meeting this guy, and I did not like him. I thought he was a complete dick, and he was like this mayor or whatever. So I just shot him in the face. And I fought my way out, and that was that. And it changes the momentum of the game. Like, you may not have that storyline now, and you might not be able to come back to that town anymore, and all that stuff. But you could literally just do whatever, and like you don't have you could just kill the person that has like the main story, and there you go. Like, you're not you have to figure out a way to get to move on.
It's like an open world RPG sort of game.
Yeah, so it's what is it? What's a good comparison would be like
Fallout.
Like a Fallout.
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say
literally Fallout, but it has like, because some Fallout games you can't really just kill anybody, But in this game you can, and for some reason that just makes it so great to me, because it's like, not for the sake of like being able to kill anyone, but the fact that you can just kill an important character that has to do with the story. To me, that's just like true freedom in a video game.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Yeah. All right. And the last game I'm going to mention here for the year of 2019, on November 15th for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the PC, the game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was released. Nick, I don't think you ever played this one.
Is it the first one?
Yep.
I played like the first like mission or two, but it was too linear for me.
Gotcha. Brad, did you ever play it?
No, I've heard of it though.
Yeah. I played it. I liked the story. I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought the guy who played the main character in the video game, I thought he was good. The gameplay was fun. I remember, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, no, I couldn't have been that. I didn't play it when it came out right away. I believe I played Elden Ring first, and I missed Elden Ring. But I wanted something like that, and Fallen Order came out on like Game Pass or something. So I installed it, and I was like, okay, I got the idea. And using your Jedi powers and stuff like that, and using a lightsaber and doing all these crazy things, it's a lot of fun collecting things and just a lot of really neat maps and how the whole thing ties together. A lot of really cool game mechanics that kind of remind me of like Uncharted type thing or Tomb Raider, where you're able to climb on the side of the walls and swing,
Mm-hmm.
like doing those like American Ninja type moves. You get, that's really cool stuff like that. Uh, and one of the most badass Darth Vader scenes uh, in video games, maybe ever. So yeah, I thought it was a really good story. I thought it was good, solid game, especially from EA. You weren't expecting it because EA usually does a lot of bullshit, but it was
Right.
actually good.
They
And the
tank.
sequel's really good too. Just builds upon it. I'm really looking forward to the third game. So I was really impressed with Jedi Fallen Order. But yeah. All right. Well, we'll now get to the worst video game of 2019. The thing is, I did something different with this one
Ooh.
because normally, it's a video game, it's bad. We get those. But this one kind of stuck out, and I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot all about that thing. Uh, it's not actually a video game that's the worst. It's a video game console that I'm choosing for the worst. The worst
Okay.
thing, video game wise,
Ooh,
of 2019.
this is
And the Google
unprecedented.
Stadia. The Stadia was released on November 19th,
Oh
2019.
yeah, Stadia.
Stadia was a
Oh.
cloud gaming service in which,
Yeah.
it requires. See, that was 20. It's only 2024, and like it was like 20 years ago.
Right,
It
yeah.
requires an internet connection and a device running either Chromium or a dedicated application. Stadia elaborated upon YouTube's as an extension of watching video game live streams, according to Google. Phil Harrison. The name Stadia, the Latin plural of stadium, was meant to reflect that it was offering a collection of entertainment which the viewer could choose to sit back and watch or take an active part in. Reviewers reported that the streaming service had low latency and felt as if the games were being played locally. Despite this, depending on your Wi-Fi speeds, games sometimes reduced their screen resolution or lagged. A test by The Verge found no lag issues over a wired Ethernet connection and occasional stuttering on a shared Wi-Fi connection. However, even on a wired connection, the stream did not output a 4K resolution and occasionally went fuzzy with compression artifacting. The reviewer reported that the best experience on Google's Pixelbook. Anyway, just really bad. I think on September 29th, it was announced that it would shut down Stadia, citing its lack of traction with users. I don't know anybody that ever bought one, ever. I know people talked
Yeah.
about it and was excited and reason to be excited, but it just did not deliver in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
It was a huge bust. Huge.
I mean, there
Right.
have been other what we call it, streaming gaming services, I guess,
Yeah.
since then. But I think Stadia was probably the first, right? Like an attempt at it, at
like
least.
a real solid attempt, because there were some shitty ones in like the 90s, early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
but-
mean, it's a great concept if
Sure.
there's no lag or anything.
right.
Like, oh, I could stream 4K games. I don't even need like a high-end PC. Like, you just stream it and play it.
Right.
That
was
being
shut
said, I
down
think
oh, sorry.
I think I tried GeForce Now for a little bit, and I think I played like a Sonic game, and I'm like, no, I can't do this because there was a noticeable delay,
Right.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah. As to say, the service was shut down on January 18th, 2023. That's it. Like last year, early last year, like beginning of 2023. So, and Google refunded all purchases for hardware and games made through the Google and Stadia stores, leaving its own controller being Bluetooth compatible. Neither
cool.
Stadia employees nor game developers were made aware of these plans before the announcement, which caused concern for developers who had planned to release new games on the service. Ubisoft stated that Stadia players would be able to transfer their purchased games to personal computers versions via their Ubisoft Connect platform for free. Other studios said they were evaluating methods to transfer saved game progress from Stadia to other platforms ahead of the shutdown. No word on how that went. But anyway, yeah, the Google Stadia, a good idea, poor execution. Nobody cared. It's really hard to come into a gaming sphere dominated by Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and already PC computers.
Right.
So,
at least
what
they
came
admitted
out
their
recently that
mistake for the
actually
most
is
part.
pretty good.
Right.
Like the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Deck,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
actually supposed to be pretty decent. So that's probably the first actual work getting it kind of worked out. So
Yeah.
Steam Deck. But anyway, guys, yeah, that will do it for 2019. If you guys don't have anything else to add, which I assume you do not.
Oh God, fuck this decade.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm happy it's over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's been like a year.
Yeah. It really
we've been working on this decade.
Let's pat ourselves on the back.
Yeah. Honestly, well done. Thank you for everything. Those last 2 episodes that took a lot off my shoulders. It took me forever to do the timeline this year, and it's usually the case. Hopefully the 70s will be better. Should be. I hope it will be. I anticipate it will.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm
70s.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
We'll get that going in a couple weeks here. We'll probably have the first episode. I don't want to make it probably sometime maybe maybe November, maybe right before Thanksgiving, maybe somewhere on there.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
All right, we'll go for that. But anyway, and with that, I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation, and will join us again for another installment of History with Hersafat. Don't forget to hydrate, exercise. I don't know why I'm doing it Southern. Don't forget to hydrate, exercise, and to like and subscribe to the podcast. All these things are essential for your health and well-being. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just don't know me. The bars in this guitar and long